What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show, your last Casually Chelsea show of the season. We're still going to be doing content on Casually Chelsea, of course, over the summer. Be here on the lookout for transfer news and all the fun stuff that you guys are looking for in terms of latest transfers and latest Chelsea news, all jam-packed in a nice 3-hour-ish podcast. Maybe less than 3 hours. We've been over 3 hours a few times, not intentionally, but yeah. Listen, it's a nice jam-packed show for you to listen on your commute to work, for you to listen while you're at work, or for you just to enjoy the banter and have a good time. But I'm accompanied by the great panel of the Bridge 258, Oliver Twist, and Real Chicken Nugget Chris, and myself, Marshalldbdx. And before we go ahead and get this jam-packed show started and get to the really big, juicy news that we have for you guys today, be sure to smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 3K subscribers. Hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we do go live. Be sure to check the links in the description, as well as leave a comment down below if you're watching this in the future, so you can let us know your thoughts on everything we're going to be discussing today. And lastly, check out the memberships and super chats, because it all helps out tremendously when it comes to the channel. All right, let's start off with the first topic of discussion, which everyone knows about. Happened, I think it was announced yesterday or the day before. Cole Palmer, young player of the year in the EPL. Love to see it. Cole Palmer is only the third player in the Premier League history to reach 30 or more goal involvements in a single season while aged 21 or younger. And here we have it confirmed. Cole Palmer is Premier League's young player of the year. Obviously, for those of you who have seen it already, player of the year went to Phil Foden. But hey, this is great for Cole Palmer. I think it's very much deserved. What an impressive season he's had. And for me, I think he's had such a good season that for a youngster, it was really important for this Chelsea team to see it happen so that it could elevate the levels of the rest of the younger group. I think he had a huge influence on our performances getting better and better and more consistent from the younger players that we have on our team. And I think he was just leading by example. And I think it does set a standard for the young people on the team to be like, hey, if he could do it, why can't I? But yeah, Cole Palmer absolutely deserved. I think brilliant season. Saved us one too many times. Brilliant player. What do you guys have to say? I mean, do you agree?
No, not agree. It shouldn't be it.
All right, Chris, who should have been?
Clearly, it should have been Garnacho, man. Garnacho clearly ahead.
What do you mean?
I mean, I seen a couple of United fans say that.
Did you say Alfie Gilchrist, Oliver?
I mean, if you think I'm serious, I can't help you there. You know.
There's no one close to his level for young players, I don't think. He's been incredible. He's got like over 20 goals, over 10 assists, I think. He's been carrying Chelsea to top 6 at this rate. Like, he's been our main guy, scoring all the goals, assisting, creating.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it all, man. So, yeah, fully deserved, man. Maybe next season he can actually go for the real player of the year. There's arguably he could have won that this year, but, you know, you're not going to win it at 6th place. But, yeah, I'm happy for him. Cole Palmer deserves it. First, as well, by the way, first professional season as well. First professional season, and he wins Young Player of the Year, just like that. It's a big achievement from the start. It's a big achievement.
Yeah.
Can't say for the rest of Chelsea.
Yeah, but like for the team in general. But there are certain individuals that I feel did step up a lot more this season than last season. Ahmed, would you agree?
Can you repeat that question? Because, you know, I'm not too sure if I agree with that necessarily.
I would say that there are certain individuals in this team, young individuals, that have stepped up this season. And I asked if you agreed or not. Outside of just Cole Palmer, obviously.
Maybe not. You know what I mean? I'm a bit concerned on him. You know what I mean?
Professional fence sitter Ahmed strikes again.
Now, let's kidding. Obviously, yes, Cole Palmer's had a really good season. Of course, Jackson, Gusto have had really good seasons. Madueke's had, I would say, a good, strong finish to the season, I would say, more so. Obviously, Caicedo as well. Enzo, not so much, obviously, considering what we know about. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, man, it's been a strong performance all around, I would say. But again, with these young guys, they all start, achieving that moment at different times. Sometimes it's not linear, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, that's
that's
fair
what
to
it is,
say.
man.
Yeah, that's fair to say. So yeah, I mean, good for Cole Palmer. Let's see if next season we can aspire
personally,
for
for me-
more. Yeah,
For
go
me,
ahead.
my young player of the season would have probably been Kobe Mainoo. That's just my opinion.
Oh, are you serious?
You can see me on camera, and yet he asks if I'm serious. But hey,
Smiling.
Bro, I see you smile at everything.
That's true.
this is hard. This is hard to understand.
Like it's a smile of a salesman or a smile of a lawyer. It's like, yeah, I'm pleasure to do business with you right here. That's just one of those. Like I can't trust you.
Hey, man.
No, but and also like no, are you actually serious about
No,
Kobe
of
Mainoo?
course not, bro. Come on,
Oh, I was
man.
gonna
You know
say
how to say it.
no, because like listen, it is an argument to be had, but for me, I feel like Mainoo came in around halfway through the season. He didn't have the full season that Palmer had, for example, and on top of it, like
It's not been as impactful as a Cole Palmer this season.
Mainoo has been good. Don't
He's
get me
been
wrong.
good.
I'm not trying
Yeah,
to disrespect to
he's been
Mainoo, right? Mainoo has been good, but he didn't physically carry United, kind of how Palmer carried
no one
Chelsea to an extent. Like Palmer was winning us games, like game after game after game. Mainoo had a big influence, and the rest of his team let him down. So I don't know, but I mean that's something that he was definitely up for the argument. I'm not going to discount Mainoo at all for that. But yeah, let's move on to the next story I have for you guys.
Well, we're missing a
What's
good
up?
point there. Adrian, I think, has a good point. I'd like to decide.
I reckon Cole Palmer has more individual awards than a number of recent starting appearances this season. Listen,
you.
Oh my god.
maybe, but I'm not going to get into it
I
because
mean, that
we have
includes
a
man of
big
the
show.
matches, so he's probably got
Yeah.
a point there.
We have a lot of show to go over, and we can have a Reese argument another day. We have a whole preseason to have it. So let's go on to the next topic I wanted to bring up, which is Chris's favorite topic. Chris, do you remember what your favorite topic is? Swear to God,
Sleeping.
Chris. You're trolling. Okay. Anyways, pre-match kit. So.
Hey, yo.
All right. Well, let's bring this up. Chelsea pre-match anthem jacket for next season in the PL. It's a sapphire and a copper ring around it.
It's the same one.
What do you mean the same one?
It's literally the same one. This is another shiny version, literally.
It's a different. It's a variant. You could say that. It's a variant.
They're both shiny. I
Not
mean,
the
how
same.
much of a
They're
difference?
both shiny.
I mean, we need to collect all the shiny
Colors
Pokemon.
change, Ahmed. Different thing. Different types of metals shine. You know, nickel, aluminum,
Do you
silver,
really think
platinum,
do you think
gold.
do you think they're using metal into those credits?
No.
Oh.
But
So
it's
then how
supposed
can,
to
you,
look
so
like
then how can you
copper.
ask me? So how can you tell me that this is a metal then, Marshall?
There's different fluorescence or whatever the fuck you want to call these things. You want me to call it shinies? They're different shinies, Ahmed.
You know what, man? Disappointing.
They're different shinies.
Disappointing.
Like, what do you want me to say, man? Listen, it's a different design than the one that we have this
It's a
season.
top tier tracksuit, man. It's top tier, man. We should be all
Do you
buying
like this, Chris? That's all that
Top
matters.
It's top tier, man. Like we can't get better in this tracksuit. It looks amazing. That Nike tick, beautiful. That badge is even better. I can wear this in
This is
public.
about to bust a nut, man.
I actually
You're not hearing it.
can't tell if you're trolling or not, Chris.
No,
I don't know if you can tell, man. Of course it's
I
about to
don't like.
bust a nut.
I do not like this kit. The colors on the
Okay,
side.
there it is.
What the
There
fuck
a
is it?
ring.
Like,
Okay.
like this is a horrible kit. I cannot wear this in public. If I'm wearing this in public, I'm getting beaten up, man. Like, I'm
Why
getting-
not? Why? No, you're not, man. Don't
Yeah,
do
look-
that, man.
Look,
no
look,
one's
alright, like,
beating
look,
anyone
look,
up, man.
Look at the black and the
Nah,
color,
please.
man, and then look at the blue
This is
on
just
the
another-
side. The color
is just
matches
another-
are horrendous.
They're doing these retro 90s kit. That's what like a 90. That's like a 90s like
Wait, which
I
one
can
is
tell
this?
it's kind of like a
Yeah,
90s,
track.
but
That's what it is.
See, the thing is, I know Ahmed knows his kid history, so which one is this?
No, I said it's
No,
no. The style is a 90s like football
No, yeah.
style.
Oh,
They used to wear this
okay.
stuff in the 90s. That's why it's like in a similar pattern at the very least.
I mean the color match is just not hit. I think it's hideous.
You know what it is, man. Chris,
I
man.
would not be
Chris,
caught dead on that.
Chris doesn't like fashion, man. You know, Chris is not a fashion.
This is
guy.
like a dark navy blue. I hope you know. Like, it's not black.
Wait, is that blue?
It's like a dark navy blue. At least that's what it looks like on
Listen,
my end.
man, Jordan. When we get Europa League, this is tomorrow, and we get a Jordan, man.
Your noises are elite, man.
Oh my days, Oliver. What are your opinions on this?
I don't know. I mean, are we sure that's? By the way, are we sure that's copper and not orange?
It looks like copper from here. It could be orange.
I mean,
if it's orange, it's
if
really
it's
gross.
orange,
if
then
it's copper,
that's dead.
not as bad. I'm not a fan. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like
don't really
everything
like
but the
orange.
highlights.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
not
it,
you
man.
first,
I love it.
Oliver. Not
I mean,
Oliver,
listen. At the end of the day, it's just a pre-match
Like,
jacket, isn't it?
If you meet, yeah, you're right.
I'm not going to be buying it, and you only see pre-match for like what 2 minutes.
No, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
£100. Yeah, give me this amazing tracksuit.
Yeah, if this copper ring matched this dark navy, then I'd be more in favor of it. But
Yeah, I don't see the point of the orange as well. What's the point of the orange in this whole kit?
It was probably a theme.
It's a retro. It's like a retro.
Chris,
We
look
had
at all
an
the
orange
leaks,
kit
like-
a
Right,
while ago,
I
some
can deal with
shit.
the Nike. I can deal with the Nike orange, right? But the badge is hideous.
Yeah. No,
And,
I get
and,
you.
and by the way, Marshall,
not the
listen,
biggest fan of it.
Hideous at all. It's
are you
not
buying it,
hideous
Ahmed?
at
Would you
all.
buy this? Would you buy this?
Yeah, I would buy it. Yes, I would buy it because it looks the same as the one that I just got right there somewhere in the back. You know, I was saying to you, you guys are just haters, man. You know what I mean? You don't love fashion. You're not into that stuff, man. You just,
Yeah, give me my plain black
you're
top.
the guys. What?
Give me my
Wait,
plain top.
wait. Whoa, he said something. Hold on, dude. He said, give me a black top, and I was like, what?
Yeah,
I was like,
I'm wearing one right now.
That's what I
right,
thought I
man.
heard. Yeah.
I'm literally wearing a t-shirt.
What do you mean
Show
by
us,
that,
Chris.
Chris?
Show us.
It's literally just a top.
You know what it is, man. Chris would fit in with a certain type of people. That's what I have to say, man. Let's move on.
Oh,
All right. Well, let Ahmed's right for once. Let's actually move on. So
we're gonna do
let's
that.
go on.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It's
fine.
easy, man. You
Let's
always
go on
just
to the
me,
next
man.
topic.
Right, I wear these pink tops, man.
Why not, man? You know what, man? I don't know why people hate pink. Light pink.
No, Inter
That's
Miami
official.
top is pretty dope.
I can
I'm
wear
not
it.
gonna lie.
No, man. Like it.
Wait, we signed Eden Hazard? Wait, we signed Eden Hazard again? Oh no, yeah.
Jesus
This is it.
Christ,
Oh, my God.
Chris.
What a dad joke. What a dad joke, man. Chris. You know what, man?
The thing is, though, like
Well,
I would
I
accept
was
if there was a
actually-
dad joke, but he was being serious.
No.
You know
I
what,
wasn't.
Chris?
I actually wasn't being serious about Eden Hazard. I was wondering why
Yeah,
we
you
have.
were.
No,
Yeah,
hang
you
on.
were.
I was
can't
like,
you were,
right,
Chris.
right.
I
Don't
can't
fucking lie to
like-
me, Chris. Look me in
Hang
the
on.
eyes and tell me the
Time
truth.
out. Give me my time out. You need
Wait,
a
wait,
time out.
Chris, don't lie to
wait,
me.
wait. Do you think
Chris needs a
Eden
timeout.
Hazard's gonna look this young still?
You know
that
what?
I don't know. You
Time
have
out,
bad
man.
vision. You have bad hearing. I mean, I wouldn't be
no.
surprised.
I have good vision.
You have
Actually.
a bad
Chris,
knee.
take 5, man.
But
Chris,
I
take
didn't
5,
actually
bro.
read what I said, and I was thinking, why the hell are we seeing 2013 Eden Hazard signing?
Yeah, Marshall.
With
I think
Marina.
Chris needs to take-
Yeah, exactly. It
Marshall
was.
needs a 5. He needs to
Chris,
take
sit
5,
down
man.
for a
He needs-
bit, all right?
What do you mean?
You work too hard.
Take
Just
5.
lay down, Chris.
Just while we're reading this, just take 5, man. You know what I mean?
Chelsea will land £5 million bonus from Eden Hazard's deal to Real Madrid after the Spaniards reached Champions League final, despite the player's retirement from football 7 months ago, according to Man Law. This is actually kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. This is like a sensational deal that was struck by Marina, and I gotta give her kudos for that. Cha-ching, man. Cha-ching. We're
I mean,
rolling
we
in
had
the
to-
dough right now.
I mean, Marshall, we had to pay the price for it because then Madrid just became cursed, and then they beat us twice.
I mean,
We
I
beat
think
them
we
the
meant
one
to
time
be,
that it mattered, and we won the Champions League. What do you mean, dude?
And they did the exact same thing the next year. They wanted to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
But who cares?
It's-
You know, we
you
can't
you
always
give
win
and
the
take.
Champions League.
I felt like we sold our soul selling Hazard and then winning that Champions League, and then Madrid were like, right, now let's wrap up now. We're not We're not taking
I
any
don't
more
know,
from Chelsea.
Oliver.
I don't know about that.
I think we mentally scarred Real Madrid. They're never gonna look at another Chelsea player ever again. You think they
We've
might
now
look at?
established a rivalry.
They literally signed Rudiger from us,
Yeah,
They
that's
did.
Marina's fault.
and
On a free,
he's
right?
been great.
On a free, right?
Yeah, we still.
Nah.
You said look at Chris. You said
Wait,
never
you
look
truly
at.
believe we sold our soul to Real
No.
Madrid and that
They're not
cost
gonna-
us a second Champions League run?
No, but
Yeah,
Is that what you're implying?
You know what, man? Yeah, Chris today. I think.
Not Chris.
Yeah, man, Chris.
Oliver.
What are you smoking, Chris?
what are you smoking? There's Oliver.
I don't smoke, man. You know what I mean? I'm not smoking.
Wait, it's kind of a lose-lose though, Oliver. Because if we didn't sell Eden Hazard, he would have dilapidated, and we wouldn't have won that Champions League possibly.
Not really, because not really.
I'm not
because the
saying
problem at
it
Real
was a
Madrid-
mistake to sell him. I'm just saying it's just the way things have worked out, man. They literally ever since we sold him and then we beat them, they just started putting up with nothing and then started beating us 2 years in a row.
we beat them.
But we beat them once. And the
Yeah,
first
well,
time we
twice.
met
Once
them.
they
You're
beat us twice.
Real Madrid, man. At least we beat them once.
But we beat them.
I
we
guess-
beat them.
I
We beat
guess
them the
that's how,
first time we faced them in the Champions League.
I
and we
guess
went on
that's
to
how
win
we
the
even it
Champions
out.
League.
I mean,
Hey, listen,
Look up.
listen. It's balanced itself out now. We have 2 wins. We have the Hazard transfer and then the actual game where we won before we won the Champions League. They've got 2 wins in the 2 next years. I guess it's balanced out.
hey,
And they
hey,
took Kepa on loan. Come on.
You know, I want to say,
Come on,
are
man.
they going
Alright, so
to
Marcel-
buy him? Are they going to buy him? Are they going to buy Kepa?
Why do we care if they're gonna buy Kepa or not?
No.
You gotta get rid of Kepa. Get rid of this guy. You were just
No,
telling
I'm
us the
gonna
other
be-
day
I'm
about
gonna be
earning
so
money.
serious.
We need to
No.
sell this motherfucker.
They're
You're
not
telling us
serious.
about not wasting money. We need to sell Kepa, dude.
After Eden Hazard,
Listen.
they're not buying any players. They're not buying any
Listen,
players.
at the end of the day, boys, yeah, and I'm just gonna keep it real. It doesn't really matter who cares. He'll probably get sold either way. It doesn't matter if you sold him to 100. Someone's gonna buy him now. He's only got 1 year on this deal, and
No
people
one's
might
buying
think
him,
we can
we'll
fix
keep
him.
him.
So, all right then, Chris. If you want to
That
keep
might be
him,
Chris. That might be Chris.
yeah,
that thinks
Chris.
he can fix Kepa.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, man, listen, Hazard, thank you for the money. He probably would have done better if he stayed at Chelsea because he probably wouldn't
Maybe.
have still needed to train. No, because the thing that hurt him was the training. He actually tried to be serious and start training at Madrid. That's what hurt him, apparently. And that's something that he realized too. And if he hadn't done that at Chelsea, he probably would have had another 2 to 3 years and then he would have crashed out.
Maybe.
That's my opinion, though.
It's
We'll when Adam Hazard has his autobiography, we'll read it together on stream and we'll find out together.
I'm just wondering if there's more money from Eden Hazard. Say if they win it again.
Wait, but what was the clause then? Like, if Real Madrid go to the Champions League, even with or without Hazard? Like, that's the part that
What?
kind of confuses me.
Okay, so what I'm assuming is that clause is valid for the initially agreed duration of Hazard's contract. So I can't remember how many years he signed for, and they obviously ended the contract prematurely. But if they were to let the contract run, it still would be in duration. I'm guessing that's what it is. I mean, other than that, there's no reason for this to still be a clause that's valid. So I'm not sure.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, it's a strange contract, but the fact that it worked out in our favor like this, I'm all for it. Does anyone know how much longer there's left to it? Might be the last year of it,
I
right?
can have a look.
Next year will be the last year. Next year will be the last year.
Yeah. Wow.
She
And
said he
people
signed
wanna
a
tell me
6-year
Florentino
contract.
Perez, 6 year, and then he left.
He left last
He
summer,
left. No, but he left Chelsea
2019.
in 2019. So yeah, got 1 more year on it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, cool.
Damn.
People wanted to tell me Fiorentino Perez is an elite owner of a club and making deals like this. I don't know about that.
I mean, he can be elite. It's just the issue, and I'll say this again. Yeah. No, he can. He just that sometimes he thought that deal was right because he believed he was bringing in a top player, and Hazard was. The issue was he probably didn't realize that he didn't really train as much as the others, and the moment he did, cooked.
It was also him kind of backing his manager as well, because I know Zidane really likes Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
Like he actually I know Vinicius wasn't good at the time, but he literally was preferring Hazard to Vinicius at every turn.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Fair enough. And now Zizou is without a job.
What does that mean? supposed to leave.
I mean, that's the
No,
thing with
just-
Florentino Perez, though. Like, you can say what you want about this being
Yeah.
an L from him, but that was probably the last L he's ever taken with a transfer. It's been nigh
Kepa.
immaculate. That's a loan. We talk permanent
It's
transfers.
Yeah,
not a
it's a loan,
transfer,
though.
bro.
He still paid money for that loan.
I mean, it's technically a temporary transfer.
He paid a 2 million loan to us.
Yeah,
Do you really
it's still
think
an
that's
L,
gonna
man.
be? That's
Okay,
not
talk
an
to me
L.
about
That's not
permanent.
an L.
Talk to me
If
about
anything,
permanent
that's
signing.
So when he buys his next house, man,
if anything,
$2 million
if
short.
anything, if anything, yeah, he
Dumbass.
turned into. If anything, he turned it into a W because it meant that Lunin had to had to actually learn and progress as a goalkeeper.
that's hella copium. I'm not gonna lie.
And you know what? Derek brought up a big point. Jovic, the striker. That they
Yeah,
bought
Luka
from Eintracht
Jovic
Frankfurt.
didn't work out,
That was bad. That's a bad transfer, bro. There's no other way to put it.
and Odegaard didn't work out for him.
Wasn't Odegaard a youth
That
pro?
was, but Odegaard was a youth product, bro. That's different. They didn't even pay that
okay.
much money.
Trying to think.
You know what it is, Mandarin man. Adrian Chris, you know he loves Kepa. You know what I mean? That's his
Yeah,
other
man.
boy.
Bring back Kappa, man. We need Kappa. We haven't got a real number one keeper yet. Bring him back.
I mean, wait a minute. There have been. Wait, now that I think about it, James Rodriguez didn't work out. Real Madrid.
No,
I'm
but
talking about since Hazard, though.
Chris, we said
Since
no, sorry,
Hazard.
Marshall.
Okay.
Marshall.
There
we
hasn't
said
been an L.
He went
Okay,
up
fair enough.
post
Fair enough.
Hazard.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Post Hazard. That's the only one that you can argue really is Jovic.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much it.
Time will tell, people. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. And
Maybe Chirmani, you know, Chirmani might be another
Mbappe's
one
the next
because
one.
you know.
I
Chirmani might be one,
I
you know.
wanted Shermani so much for 40.
I mean, he's
Has
not the
Sherman
greatest
not been doing
fitness
good?
record. His fitness record, really. That's all.
I mean, I know, but
Can
I
I
wanted
just say,
47
hot
million.
take?
That would have been a bargain, man.
Guys, this might be a hot take by me, but I actually think Chouameni, even though he's played really great games, looked really good, the injury thing with him,
It's bad.
sneaky man, sneaky one, that's what I'm gonna say. It's a bit of a sneaky one still. Not the player. He's not. The player is good. Whenever he plays, he's really good. I'm just saying though, sneak one because of the amount that what is basically forced him to continue to play Chouameni there, you know, and was it called having to play either Kroos or Modric instead.
Yeah. Okay.
Sneak.
Yeah, I can see that argument. But all right, cool. We're gonna move on to Ahmed's favorite topic now, and that's stadium updates. There's not really much to really talk on this, to be honest. But
How is this my favorite topic, Marshall? How is this my favorite topic? Do you think I love talking about how we are failing as a team to get stuff done?
Yes.
Am I that type of dickhead?
You're into engineer porn, man. I'm just saying. So
This is insane.
Chelsea Stadium. The stadium issue seems to have gone back to square one once they bought in Jason Gannon and some others. They started again, according to Matt Law. So, the people that we brought in for this job decided to scrap the progress on the previous employees and start again. So, if this is true, we're never going to get a new stadium at this rate. Never. But okay, we're 2 years in, by the way.
Can we just?
So it's not like
move
it's not going to happen overnight. No. This has been going on for 2 years now.
we
So
just
wait,
move
real quick
pounds
before you go, Chris. Another thing to add on is that Chelsea have increased the price of general admission season tickets for the first time in 13 years. General admission season tickets this season was £750, which will rise to £787. Have that £787.50 with the 5% increase.
That's not bad. Honestly.
All right, so can I talk, Marshall? Can I talk now? Yeah.
Well, this
Before
is
people
your
get their
wheelhouse, 'cause
knickers,
you're a
before
season ticket
people
holder,
get their
aren't you?
knickers in the tits, no, I'm not a season ticket holder. Okay.
I thought you
Listen
were.
up. But no, I've never been a season ticket holder. How can I get tickets? You see me at home games every day? No.
I thought you sold your ticket or some shit. I don't know, because you said you're close to it. Why wouldn't you be a season ticket
No,
holder?
he just buys tickets here and there. I think.
I just buy tickets.
okay.
I've never been a season ticket holder. So
good to
no.
know.
So
If I'm a
yeah,
I
again,
can do
it's
it when I visit.
again, it's a 5% increase, yeah, in general admissions. So again, Matt Laws is a nasty prick, by the way, because he's using the season ticket price, yeah. But the average price usually is around about 40 to 50 quid for an adult.
That's not
roughly,
bad.
yeah. Pushing 60 at times, right? But that means a 5% increase for them is like £3. At a maximum, if it's £60 ticket, £3. Yeah, at a £40 ticket, it's only £2. So they only increase it by £2 to £3 essentially.
By the way,
You know what
big
I'm
up to
saying to you?
Ahmed for calling out Matt Law on that. By the way, I didn't even pick up on that.
No, because he's doing a nasty one. Even though if you look at it, that actually doesn't even look that bad. By the way, that's
No,
only
no.
like a £27. That's like a 30. So yeah, that's a £37.50 increase really.
I saw this
So-
assuming it was a season ticket because there's no way a single ticket costs that much money.
Oh
No,
no, yeah.
that's a season ticket. Yeah. So if you look at that, bro, that's not even that bad.
It's
Again, no. So
I
that's
think
why
Arsenal's
again, you know,
a
Yeah, for a
grand,
season
right?
ticket, actually, I would pay that.
Arsenal's a grand. I'm pretty sure Arsenal's Arsenal's a
Ew.
grand, by the way.
Ew,
Arsenal's a grand.
really?
I know that for sure.
Yeah, like these.
It's
Chelsea's
bad.
actually one of the cheapest clubs. to go.
Chelsea's one again has
The
not
big ones
increased in
anyway.
13 years, Marshall. Deep that. Look at the amount of like.
Yeah, 13 years is a
inflation.
really long time.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, every year, I'm sure other stadiums are upping the amount they charge. So, like, yeah, I mean, people wanted to bitch and moan about the season ticket prices and all that stuff earlier in the season. Now we're actually seeing it come to fruition. And with context, it makes sense why it happens. It makes sense why it had to happen.
Can I?
We can't charge the same we charged 10 years ago. What were you going to say, Chris?
I'm looking at Arsenal's right. I think Arsenal's cheapest is £1,000. Their cheapest,
Ew.
and it goes upwards to £2,000 a season.
Just to watch a mid team? Fuck me, man.
I mean, a team who ain't won the Premier League for like plus 20 years. Yeah, that's what it's been like.
Fucking mid London club.
Yeah, I can't imagine like
Freaking
someone picking them
Arsenal.
to win the Premier League.
Imagine challenging for the league and not winning it. Would never be my club.
But yeah,
Anyways.
Chelsea's actually quite cheap.
Yeah.
So at least these owners ain't whacked up to 1,000. I think if they do that, we have to be winning Premier Leagues or something. Like we have to actually be serious again. But you know what I'm saying? We should just move stadium anyway, man. Call ourselves the Blue Cowboy London, or something like that.
It won't be the same.
London, London
Wait,
Cowboy.
we want a
That's it,
cowboy
that's-
hat as your logo now?
Oh yeah, man. I'm on the Chelsea logo. Holy
don't
shit! This will piss so many Chelsea
No,
fans off.
Please no.
It would piss me off too, but I mean, fuck it. I like to see the fire.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, Oliver, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Not really.
Quick
No.
question, guys. Quick question, guys. Yeah, American style or shredded mozzarella and cheddar blend? What would he say? Is VAR?
What the hell is American style? Oh, it's American cheese. Oh, no. Yeah, the other one.
Lovely. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, you're welcome. Anyways.
It is cucumber. Pickle.
Oh, is he ordering
No,
pickles?
don't say your order. No, I'm muting him. you do your thing, bro.
Waffling about food now.
If you need to think about it out loud, then that's fine. All right, so and I'm just doing the right thing, man. He's getting ready for the fight. He's gonna have a meal and all that stuff. Make sure you get a beer
I'm
as
being
well.
such a troll right now. My apologies, boys. I'm just being
No,
a
it's
bit of a-
fine. It's fine. But all right, cool. Let's go on to the next topic. It's just Chris's second favorite topic.
What is this? Waking up?
No, Thiago Silva, man. So a little bit of Thiago
Eddie
Silva
Silva.
updates. Huh? What do you mean by that?
That's what Chris thinks, man. You know what I mean? Oh, Daddy Silva. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
Daddy Silva. I heard Eddie Silva. I'm like, who the
Yeah,
hell is
I think-
Eddie Silva? Is that a wrestler? All right, it's Thiago Silva. Could speak on the pitch to the fans after the match. Plans still being finalized by Chelsea. And then, I mean, I don't know what he's going to say. It's Portuguese. But Thiago Silva will say goodbye to Chelsea fans this weekend as he's joining Fluminense in June. But he's really planning to return to Chelsea one day in different role. He loves the club, the city, and his plan is already something concrete in his mind. Hey, dude, I'm all for it. I was actually just watching a little bit of Thiago Silva's interview for Sky Sport before the stream. And, dude, this guy has a state-of-the-art gym in his home. It's actually insane. He actually has, I don't know if you guys knew this, he has a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah.
He has a
Oh,
hyperbolic
no, I've heard
chamber.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently, what it does is that he sits there for an hour and a half, and he breathes in like pure oxygen, so
oxygen.
100% oxygen.
Yeah.
which helps out his muscles for recovery and all that stuff. It's insane. It's insane how much this guy's invested on himself and his career, which I feel more players should aspire to do it at a younger age. He only started doing this when he came to London because now he had the room.
Really?
But yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Marshall, do you know what it is though, Marshall? The difference, the reason why he could do it more so than maybe some other players is because he's been obviously a rich guy. Obviously, his PhD deal, the amount of sponsorships he has, probably in Brazil back home, and all the other stuff that he does, it allows him to be able to buy this stuff. It's not easy for a lot of these players to actually buy.
Yeah, but he's not making more than what Raheem Sterling's been making throughout his career. He's not making more than what.
Yes, he is. He was at Paris.
Wait. No. I get that. But over the course of his career, obviously, he's acquired a lot of money. But I'm like, we're not talking about like £100 million like equipment. Like, yes, they're expensive equipment, but I'm sure a player on any high salary that's 100,000 a week can afford these things.
I would say around 250. I would say around 250 and upwards.
I'm not too sure.
No,
The gym
Listen,
stuff.
I don't know how much the equipment costs.
Never
I'll
Marshall.
admit.
Taxes.
The gym, no, Marshall. The gym stuff is. I can agree with you on that one. But the hyperbolic stuff, that stuff is really.
That is probably really expensive. But
That's
again, I don't think it's something else. First of all, I'm sure you can finance it. And second of all, finance is 101 at Casually FC, bro. How to save money,
I get paid-
make the best out of
I
your
get paid
investment.
over 100k a month. It's all good, man.
Man, I'm alright, man.
No, but like, I'm sure they can maintain it, man. I'm sure they can afford it.
Some players definitely needed it, man. Like, look at Wayne Rooney after
Or
Kim,
you know what? Even if you don't want to pay to have that equipment at your home, I'm sure you can pay a membership to use it at another facility.
Yeah,
So they have access to that kind of stuff.
You can do it.
yeah.
I mean, that's the way most people do it.
I mean, fucking Paqueta is good buddies with Thiago Silva. He goes, visits him, and uses the equipment with him and shit. Like,
You're probably a user.
hey, yo, damn. It's mean, man. They're friends.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah, but look, I mean, it's crazy to see everything Thiago Silva does now that he's here in London to take care of himself, and it's just it's something that, like, now that we're in 2024, I'm very curious to see how much longer these players' careers actually last, because this guy lasted till 40. He was saying he aspires to last as long as Maldini, who, again, he's a student of Maldini. And, it's going to be really curious to see if young players take the approach that he did with taking themselves serious and seeing longevity in their career, to see how long some of these players last and how well they can proceed in their career. Because he even mentioned himself, like, a lot of times he recovers quickly from injuries as a result of doing these things. Which, when Thiago Silva gets injured, he's not injured for very long. So, what do you guys think?
No, yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, the fact of the matter is, he's doing this stuff out of a necessity. If he wants to reach that Maldini duration of his career, he has to do these kind of things. And he's not been, the thing that you're saying that players should be doing this early, I agree, but he wasn't doing this since he was, like, in his early 20s. This is a very recent thing.
Which makes me curious as to, like, how much better could his career have gone, and how much longevity could he have had if he had done this years ago,
I mean, maybe he could have more. That's definitely possible. But, like, at the end of the day, you got to consider, like, some players want to retire.
Yeah, that's true.
Not every player gets to a point where they're too old and they're forced to retire against their will. Like, their body just doesn't do what they want to do. Look at Hazard, for example. I know Hazard had the injuries, but he wasn't happy in his career, so he called it quits.
Well, I mean,
some people just reach that point, really, at an earlier stage than Silva did.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, it's going to be sad to see Silva go. I hope tomorrow the ceremony is going to be a beautiful one and he gets his goodbyes respectfully. So
I'm hoping we win tomorrow.
Marshall, you're going to be there like a true Chelsea fan.
I wish I was, man. I wish I could be
Yeah,
there
man.
just so I can
Yeah,
get
you're
hit
not
by a
proper
Stella
Charles, man.
bottle.
He's not proper
I know,
Charles, man.
yeah.
You're not proper
I
Charles. Get out of
wasn't-
my club, mate.
I wasn't
Why
I
you
wasn't
been-
hit
why do you
by
have
a
this channel, man?
Stella bottle from the Harding stand, unfortunately.
Why
So
do you think?
I'm
You
not a
know,
real
Stella.
proper
No one
Chelsea.
drinks Stella like that, man. Stella's, listen. I know that's a bit high. It's not
Proper
like that,
Stella
man.
drinkers. You know.
No,
Or Beck's.
you
What
know.
is it? Fuller's London? What are we drinking over there, man? I don't fucking know. Budweiser? This is Budweiser, right?
You're
Am
kidding
I
me.
gonna get hit in the
man.
back of the head by a Budweiser bottle? I don't know.
Actually, the majority of I think UK beers are usually in cans, actually, unless they're like
It has to be in a stadium. It must.
No,
Otherwise,
because the thing is, you can get different type. You can actually get beers in the UK that are in actual, glass bottles. Like you can just get them straight away.
yeah.
Marshall, I think in stadiums they pour it into plastic cups
Yeah, they do too.
because
get hit by a
like
plastic
you,
You
cup.
can't even
the
bring it
Harding
into
stand.
the actual. You can't even bring it into the actual stadium. No, sorry, not the actual stadium. Like, as in to the actual like chairs area where you're sitting. Like,
and even if you, and the thing is,
Really?
even if you could,
There's a drinking area, so you have to drink.
there.
You can't drink at your
Push-wise,
seat.
man.
Yeah,
think
like,
it's
if
Marshall,
you've got, like,
even-
coffee. If it's like a coffee or water, yes.
I mean, to be
But,
fair,
like,
that's kind of better because you've seen some of the Mexico USA games and how these people fucking throw
But if
the
you need to
trash.
realize,
at
I mean,
players.
that's what I was going to say, Marshall. Like they can't serve cans really because if you've got a closed can, that's a projectile.
And also, Marshall,
They gotta open it for you,
remember, The UK,
Yeah.
the UK had one of the greatest hooligans of all time. By the way, you know
Ah,
what I'm
fair
saying?
enough. True.
So
true,
remember,
that is true.
They put in some crazy laws. By the way, they put in insane laws to make sure that shit never happens again.
No, that's fair. But okay, cool. That being said, let's go on to something a little more interesting. We're starting to like spice it up a little bit before we get to the big news, which is Fabregas planning for Chelsea. Hey, the reason I bring this up is because we saw yesterday at training, Fabregas was in training. Yes, he's there talking to Mauricio Pochettino, Caicedo. He's picking all the players pretty much. Nicholas Jackson was involved as well. Why is this? Oh, okay. Weird. Anyways, Nicholas Jackson was involved. Palmer. It's very interesting to see Cess there, of all places. But maybe people are saying this, and I'm saying this. This is my tinfoil hat. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe he's planning to get a job with Chelsea at some point.
Maybe
Not
he's
as a
the new
manager, just a job
Maybe
involved
he's the
with
new
the-
manager after Poch, man. That might be what we're seeing right now. He's, you know what I mean? Sneak this in Poch already. Sneak this in Poch, like someone do his own training, yeah, and say, I'm the new
I
manager.
prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
But that's
I'm
what
saying.
that might be happening. Listen, I can't like. There's another one. There's a real one we need to talk about. Yeah, with the news that came out today, which is not McKenna, by the way. There's another one that I'm gonna say. Yeah, that came out today. Which for me, that news when it came out, I already knew, gun to my head, that it was over, man. His Poch is gone.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But I mean,
What do you
What are we
think we will
thinking
see?
about-
Well, you know it's true, by the way. The fact that he's on a free, you're getting news already that these guys aren't sure on him. It's too easy, man. It's cash money. They wanted this guy for the whole time. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. They don't have to pay money for him. They can. He already has all the connections, and they not even sure on Poch. And they go, "You're a Philly football now." You're not thinking they're going. Yeah, let's bring this brother in. Come on, Marshall.
do you
Come
guys
on, man.
do you guys know who he's talking about? Because I'm confused.
Wait,
thought I knew, but
I
now
heard.
I don't think I know.
I heard it when Ahmed was sucking something. So
Whoa!
that's when I actually heard something.
Hey,
I
you're
actually
talking
don't know
about the
full
Zerbi?
context. Oh fuck the
We're
Zerbi,
gonna-
man.
we're
Fuck
gonna
the
talk-
Zerbi.
yeah.
The Zerbi, right? Yeah, we
That's
will.
okay.
It's 2 topics away. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, do all in good time.
I even posted a tweet, or me with a sword, the big sword from Final Fantasy VII, literally, and see, I might have to crash out, man.
I think I saw that actually. But what do we think about Cesc? Do you think this is just a innocent visit, or do you think there's a plan behind this visit? Boys?
I'm telling you, man. I can see this being like either he becomes an assistant to whoever the new manager is, or they're making him the new manager after Poch, bro.
Which, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Fluminense, after Fluminense, I think Thiago Silva is planning to take a coaching role at Chelsea. Which, dude, imagine we have Thiago Silva and Cesc Fabregas in our staff, in our coaching staff.
Oh my god! You know what? Kick him out, Marshall. That's it. Kick him out. Marshall.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you like this, Chris?
Marshall, no, he needs it. He needs a timeout, bro. That is, you can't believe he actually said that. Please, Marshall.
Let's go backstage then, yeah?
He needs to go backstage. He actually has to go backstage for that.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That
Can't
was
believe
crazy.
you even consider that. But anyways, so you got Oliver. Do you think he's he's looking for a job, maybe?
I don't know.
But no,
to be
he's
honest.
managing right now because
No,
he
no,
just
he's
promoted
not.
an Italian team.
He is the assistant manager at his current club. He's not the
Yes.
manager.
Ah,
That's a lot of
okay.
people have that misconception because they say, congratulations to Cesc for the promotion. He was the assistant. He wasn't the head coach. So he still hasn't had a job yet. So in terms of being a manager, unless it was to be for one of the youth teams, absolutely not. But maybe just a coaching role, maybe just in coaching a specific part of the game rather than just being the head coach. Maybe that's an option. I mean, we'll see. But he needs more. If we're talking head coach, he needs more experience because he doesn't have any right now.
Chris.
Yeah, I think it's like a little innocent thing. He actually likes Chelsea a lot. I think he likes Chelsea more than Arsenal. Don't tell Arsenal fans that, but I think he
I
actually.
mean,
prefers
he
Chelsea
did his
as a
coaching
club.
badges at Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like he will come to Chelsea and be a coach or be somewhat involved. Maybe a future manager. Who knows? He might be a really good manager. I don't know, but I wouldn't mind him being a coach at Chelsea of some sort because he's a very good player. Like, and he knows his shit. Being a coach, he can teach the midfield or something or any player around him. He can definitely teach one or two things, man. So
Ahmed, there's some people spitting the idea out of what if he earns his stripes maybe next season? What if he becomes the manager for Strasbourg? Would you entertain that?
But if he earns his stripes, why would they want to send him to Strasbourg?
Just to gain experience as a manager.
Realistically, what's the difference between Strasbourg and Como right now? Como next season going to be in the Serie A. Yep, and Strasbourg are going to. They're usually in and around a similar place in the league. So I don't really think there's that much.
He could. Well, I think it's a win-win because one, he earns his stripes, and two, he could kind of mold our players in a way or play them in a sense that helps us develop them for the first team at Chelsea. Don't you think? Maybe possibility.
I'm not sure on that one, bro. I disagree.
Well, it was just an idea I was trying to entertain.
Joe.
We will.
I like
We will.
that, Joe.
In terms of
Come Rich, a guy here that was so shit as a striker. They literally playing him as a.
What's really funny too is that no one wants to talk about the goals Bayern conceded, but okay, you want to talk about Tuchel, but you don't want to talk about Bayern, but okay, fair enough. When Neuer does this in front of goal and lets it in, all right. It's Tuchel's fault.
Marshall, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about Tuchel right now.
I'll just say quickly, we
can't
can't even use the Leverkusen super team excuse anymore. They finished below Stuttgart.
We will talk about Tuchel.
Marshall, by the way, I
Bayern's
wasn't even talking about
scenario
Tuchel. I was not talking about Tuchel, but I was talking
Yeah.
about Kramaric. This guy was a striker at one point in time. They said he was so shit as a striker that they had to put him into the midfield, Marshall, and he scored, I think, 2 goals against them.
Yeah,
That's
Bayern
what
have been
I've
shit,
seen,
man. Bayern have been
Tuchel's
shit.
worse.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what manager they bring in. This will continue to happen, and there will continue to be a decline. But I'm not making this a Bayern thing. I have 18 other topics to talk about, guys. Much more important than Bayern and Tuchel, which will be a whole separate video. That if you're patient enough, you will watch that video, and you'll get all the Tuchel and Bayern hate prop that you want.
Yo, we can't call it the Casually Tuchel, by the way, Marshall. I just realized something in my head about that term. So let's move on, please.
Okay, anyways, let's move on. So the next topic I have for you guys is let's see what do I have for you guys next. Oh, cool. Speaking of coaches for Chelsea, it's now being done. Cueva. So some of you saying, who the fuck is Cueva? Remember the guy from Brentford that we signed, the set piece coach? Well, it's officially done. He will be leaving Brentford at the end of the season and joining Chelsea. So here we have the update. Brentford will receive £750K to £1 million in compensation for Chelsea, from Chelsea for their set piece coach, Bernardo Cueva. And then we have here Bernardo Cueva leaves Brentford to join Chelsea as new set piece coach starting from next season. Chelsea will pay a $750,000 compensation. According to Fabrizio.
That's actually quite good, right? Because like, isn't Brentford really good at set pieces and they have like one of the top on the list?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're one of the.
And I'm pretty sure
best
we
size of
thought-
set pieces. I forgot what the stat was though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we talked about it. So why don't we just, go look at one of them coaches, set piece coaches? Why didn't we look at Brentford? Hey, we done it. I actually praised the ownership for this then because I think this is a good move. 750K to $1 million, not bad. If he actually improves our set pieces, worth it, worth every penny. So yeah, that's great.
Cueva in, manager.
For a manager, I don't know about that. How do you check set piece stats? I don't even know.
I forgot, but we saw it on. I think someone reported it. Like Brentford's like
Yeah.
one of the highest on the list, or maybe highest for like set piece goals or something. And
Also,
like,
defending as well. It's both
defending,
attacking and
yeah.
defense.
I'm all for this move actually. I'm quite positive it's move. So yeah, bring me the Brentford set pieces.
I mean, the thing is, whether it's him or whether it's someone else, this was necessary.
I think he's part of
Pochettino
it.
should never have tried to come to this club without a set piece coach on his coaching staff. That is unacceptable.
We didn't have a set
at
piece
any
coach.
standard. No,
I thought
there's
we
no-
did.
We don't have a set piece coach right now, and we're hiring this guy to start next season.
I mean, at least we've done it. At least we've done it now.
I know, but the fact that we didn't have one in the first place, how the hell did we allow it?
Fuck knows.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And you see this season where we paid the price. We conceded the most goals in the history of our club in the Premier League. And who knows? Maybe a set piece coach could have made the difference between.
Yeah, height doesn't actually really. Well, okay, you do need height, but height doesn't always mean like you have to be good at set pieces, and that's what
Doesn't
I felt
matter.
like Poch, that's what I felt like Poch like over relied on. Oh, if you're tall, you gotta be good at set pieces. No, you still need a coach.
It's a
who's
very
gonna,
simple way of thinking about it, because at the same time too, he does the zonal marking thing, which bothers me personally. I'm of the Zerbi school of man for man marking. I would say I agree with
I think he does a
Zerbi's
mix
tactics.
of both.
Yeah.
He does a mix of both, and then people just look confused.
Wait. We need to do well. Oliver,
It's old
bro.
school. It's
He's
old school way of
slow, man.
thinking.
No one's realizing, man.
I know what he said.
What?
So tell me about this Zerbi tactical approach, Marshall. I mean, I've never heard you say that before, bro. So I'm intrigued, man. Go ahead, man.
I'm sure he'll go into it.
Yeah, go
I'll get
into it,
into
man.
it. I'll get into it next, but let's talk about this set piece coach, which Ahmed.
No,
Ahmed
you're
Abdi.
the one that's talking about the tactics,
No.
innit? The set beat tactics.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
talk about the set piece tactics that Bernardo Cueva is going to bring into our Chelsea team next season
I
from
don't know.
Brentford.
I don't know, big man. I'm asking you.
I thought you were the expert.
Alright, listen.
He's expert at many things.
I thought you know ball, man.
Oh shit.
The student of the Stade
Zuba.
Rennais.
Zuba.
This guy.
Oh.
I don't know what Zuber means, bro.
No, it's his brother. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Chris, I know. Oh, I got Chris. Okay. Yes, Chris, continue what you were saying.
Me, I already said what I said about it. I like the move and everything, but yeah, there's only so much you can do with this. Like, will it say Poch next season? I don't know, because I think Poch is staying next season, by the way. So I'm hoping this improves Poch's results. That's all I care for. Just improving us, conceding less goals, maybe scoring more goals from set pieces. That'd be great as well. It's down to the players as well, of course, like scoring the goals like Jackson. We've seen Jackson have brilliant header opportunities sometimes. I miss it. So, yeah. Time will tell, man, next season. I think talk, man. Well, I want to see the action.
Fair enough. I agree. Oliver, I'm sure you agree as well. Let's see what happens next season, and hopefully the set piece coach actually steps up, and we do see a drastic improvement in our set pieces. Because one thing I would like to add as well is that with Thiago Silva leaving the club. Unfortunately, he's our best set piece scorer as well. And that's something that I don't want to lose next season. I mean, Axel Disasi scored some goals from set pieces, from headed goals. But other than him, Chalaba, I think, has potential, but we need to refine that ability because he's been close at some points. But that's if he stays as well. But all right, let's move on to the next topic now that Ahmed's back. And this is what Ahmed did want to discuss, and let's have this discussion. And I kind of wish Scott was here to defend the opposition point of view, but he's not. So let's see. Zerbi leaving Brighton. So things are getting spicy with the managerial market right now after it doled down. Zerbi announcing that he is not going to stay at Brighton. So let's go ahead and what is that? An aura ring or whatever?
Real aura. It's a special ring.
Okay. Man gets +2 mana when he wears it or some shit.
Ain't no fucking way.
All right, I don't know what you just saw, but if it's something to do with Chelsea, please in the private chat.
No. It's very, very bad. I don't know who this person is. Whoever the person is, you need to kill him or lock the key and throw them away.
Okay, we'll see. Anyways,
I sent it in their private chat. Have a look.
Oh, I see. I'll see in a minute. All right, let me read this first. So, Zerbi came out with this speech today. I'm very sad to be leaving Brighton, but I am very proud of what my players and staff have achieved with the support of everyone at the club and our amazing fans in the past 2 historical seasons. We have agreed to end my time at Brighton so that the club and I can continue to work in a way that suits each of us best, following our own ideas and visions, as well as our work and human values. I have really enjoyed an intense, challenging 2 years working in the Premier League, not least competing in 4 major competitions this season. Leaving now provides me with time to take a break before deciding on my future plans. Okay, we'll come back to the speech because I think there were some key words there that I think I want to break down. Breaking: Roberto De Zerbi leaves Brighton at the end of the season. Decision made. His final game will be tomorrow as Man United, versus Man United. Then De Zerbi will be available for a new chapter. Roberto De Zerbi is in talks with Bayern Munich to become their new head coach, and then slowly but surely that was all dumbed down because Bayern's a mess and no one wants to go there. Despite internal talks and contacts in March and April, Roberto De Zerbi will not become new FC Bayern manager. Max Eberl confirmed that the new head coach would not be Italian. Internal decision 100% guaranteed. Roberto De Zerbi and Bayern decided not to proceed already weeks ago. And Chelsea have cooled interest in Roberto De Zerbi and are unsure whether Amorim suits the tactical profile of their squad. I think the Amorim part is copium. I think they did want Amorim, but he decided to not join any club. So saving face, kind of like Liverpool did. Same thing. We never wanted him. Whatever. But yeah, let's go back to these quotes that I saw here, which is we have agreed to end my time at Brighton to start the club so that I can continue to work in a way that suits each of us best, following our own ideas and visions. The way that this is worded, if I'm going to read in between the lines, something tells me that De Zerbi fell out with Tony Bloom or the recruitment team.
It's been pretty obvious.
All right, well, speak on it, Oliver. Because I don't think it's been that obvious to me.
You know, I'll speak on it. You might just not have seen it. I understand that, but basically, it was a few weeks ago, I believe. He was talking in the press, and I can't remember the exact quotes, but he wasn't agreeing with there were questions about is my ambition the same as the club's and all that. Reports suggest that he's not happy with the way Brighton are run in terms of they're a much more selling model than they are. We're going to keep our best players. Key to that, he lost his 2 best players, McAllister and Caicedo, in the summer, and that's been a detriment to their season, not having that level of quality in the squad. So I think it's been pretty obvious, and the fact that he's getting linked to big jobs as well, that's always going to be an allure to him, although apparently he's not been courted by anyone yet. He's not actually talked to anyone, but the links being there still show that he has an audience.
Why do you think he rejected Bayern?
Probably mess of a club.
Bayern are a mess.
But Bayern would have backed him.
I mean, it might also.
It's better than Brighton, of course. Right?
It might also be the fact that he might want a break. Like some managers do that, and you got to remember, Zerbi has been coaching. He was what's it called? He was at the Ukrainian club, wasn't he? Shakhtar,
and then he was a Sudanese.
War-torn
Not
country,
Sudanese, Sassuolo before that.
Sassuolo.
He was coaching in a war-torn country. Maybe he just needs a break.
For me,
yeah.
Go ahead, Oliver. Finish your thought.
And just another thing, the Premier League is hard in and of itself. It's very difficult. And then you have to play Europa League with a squad that is nowhere near good enough to be in that competition. You saw how they got eliminated by Roma. They got destroyed. They're out of their depth.
I think you're giving him more leeway than deserved. Because to me, yes, I understand. There's a few things that bother me about this, right?
I'm not giving him leeway. I'm suggesting reasons why he has decided to walk away. This is his decision. This is a mutual decision between the club and the manager.
So, for me, I think that there's a few things that bother me about this. One, dude, you were there for 2 seasons. 2 seasons. And you leaving now almost makes it seem like your first season was a managerial bounce. And then your second season, when you lose 2 key players, you can't recover based on other players that you've brought up. It's not like they were stripped of everything good they had. They did have good players that came up, and Ciso being one of them. They kept Estupinian, a very key player to their team. There was still Pascal Gross in that team that could play the midfield roles. Solly March was in that team. He did get played by injuries, but as a manager, you're supposed to play through that. And even with that much quality missing from your team, to go from where you were last season to where you are this season, I don't think it's excusable, because now let me just look at the standings right now, because I need to remind myself where they are in the league table. They're 10th.
Oh yeah, they could be 11th. By the way, if they lose their next game against Man United and Bournemouth win. Oh, wait, they're against us. No, they don't win.
And to me, it's okay, fine, whatever. It's just for you to leave after 2 years, knowing what team you were getting into. I just think it's dumb. And then second, if he's just gonna react this way, even though he knows what team he was getting into, because let's not pretend that Brighton doesn't get pulled apart every season, or other clubs. Why are we pretending these smaller clubs don't get their best players sold? What's gonna happen when you go to a bigger club? Are you gonna last 2 years as well? So for me, it doesn't sit well with me that he's leaving Brighton after 2 years. And again, I think his football has been found out. I'm not a fan of his football. I don't like the results that I'm seeing. So I don't know. I feel like losing Caicedo and McAllister, yeah, it's a blow, but not enough of a blow that you have such an obviously bad season in comparison to last.
I mean, it's definitely a blow, but you can spin it another way, Marshall. And this is you could maybe say he relied on it.
Yeah, which again, I think to me maybe that shows maybe he's not as good a manager as people say he is.
But then again, that's an argument. That's an argument that people will use to bring him to Chelsea, because we have Cole, we have Caicedo, we have Mudryk, who he had at Shakhtar. So that's what those people will use in defence of him and to try and bring him to Chelsea. That's not necessarily me, but that's what other people will try and run.
I mean, he isn't the worst. I was gonna say he isn't the worst.
Yeah,
man
I just want to say, I just gotta listen.
Goddamn.
Let's cut the beans and toast on here. You know what I mean? Let's get to the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Let's get to that nice little rich amount of protein.
Over toast.
If it's not dry potato, man.
I think the thing with the Zerbi is that the Zerbi's type of football can only work if you give him the players that he needs. And we saw that last season with Brighton. Right? At Brighton, he had the players that he wanted, he had the players that he needed, and that allowed him to work his style of play. This season, we've seen, what happens when his squad is depleted, and
Depleted?
because he's had a lot of injuries. This is me being, this is me being unbiased as possible, right? He actually had a depleted squad, bro. At one point in time, he had 13, 14 players out injured, like Chelsea. He's not had a fit squad at
that
all,
was
right?
around January, I believe.
No, it was in October. It started happening in October for him. So that's the point I'm trying to make, right? When it comes to him, like, again, I just think for me, he kind of reminds me of Postecoglou, in the sense that with Postecoglou, right, they live and die by their football. That's why he's lost so many games, by the way. He's not changed up tactically. He wishes to live and die by that sword, which is his tactics. And the problem is, with that type of football, is that, if you're not willing to change and not willing to adapt your philosophy, you know what I mean, seasons like this will happen. Now, one thing I will give credit to the Zerbi for, if I'm leeway to you, is that he's lost his best players. Now, again, yes, we understand it's Brighton, but the problem is the Brighton recruitment hasn't helped him out either, right? And the thing is, you look at him, you look at the guys they brought it back in. Baleba was a good player when I was watching him back in Lille. Yeah, he was, but obviously he hasn't been able to pan necessarily. He's had quite a few injuries himself. Obviously they brought in Buonanotte. They brought in and Cisco got injured too. You know what I'm saying? Ansu Fati's not been able to pull up. Evan Ferguson's had injuries, but at the same time also not been able to, how shall I say, pull up trees and everything like he was last season. So Estepinian, João Pedro's been actually good this season. I think João Pedro's been a shining light in a bad season, I would argue. Estepinian,
but he's had backing. That's the thing.
No, but again, the issue is, you can getting backed by having an injury-prone Ansu Fati, right? João Pedro, who just came from the Championship, and who was in the Premier League only 2 years ago, right, with a relegated Watford side, Who else did he get? And Cisco was the guy that they got last season. He got injured for a crazy amount of time. Who else did they get, Marshall? I'm asking you, bro. Baleba, the guy they got, was injured for a lot of the time of the season. So
they got that player from Dortmund, but they loaned him out in January.
Exactly. The guy they got from Dortmund, I forgot his name. They brought him, didn't pan out either. So, at some point also, we have to also just say that sometimes the plays that he was given didn't work out at all either. And that's played a factor too. I think the thing about the manager that we need to criticize here when it comes to De Zerbi is his tactics. He is like a shinobi, you know what I mean? He's a samurai, you know what I mean? Right? This is what he lives and dies by. His tactic is like his sword, you know what I mean? They are very, very important to him. He will literally die and live by this tactics. You know what I'm saying to you? He will die by this and he will live by this. That's the thing you're not getting, Marshall. That's the thing. And the problem is,
get it.
The problem is, the guys.
I think that's the criticism, though.
Yes, that's my criticism. That's the criticism I'm trying to make, Marshall.
I never argued that.
The issue that me and you are arguing about, Marshall, is about the players.
I've been quiet this whole time. What do you mean arguing?
No, because you were just saying, because you and me were just arguing about debating about the players that he's been backed. But the point I'm trying to make, yes, he's been backed, but the backing that he's received have been either injured or not panned out at all for him.
See, the thing is though, part of what I don't, I kind of look at his scenario very similar to Poch's scenario, yet Poch managed to make it out of that injury-ridden patch in the season and make the best out of it. Poch managed to actually take players that he's received that only just got their first professional season, first time in the Premier League, so on and so forth. Say whatever you want. Injury-prone players, so on and so forth. And he still managed to make it work. I'm not saying you're making excuses for De Zerbi, But people are making excuses for the Zerbi. So why are people making those excuses for him?
Do you know what it is, though, Marshall? Do you know what it is, Marshall? Yeah, the level of talent you're getting at Chelsea, yeah, the young talent you're getting at Chelsea, and the level of talent you're getting at Brighton. Would you say they're 1-to-1?
Yeah,
would you say,
no,
no, right? Not. So there's that, and I think the other thing is, yeah, you know, and I think I wanted to. Vic's comment is I think I would say a good comment, but where I would disagree about him failing this season is that I think at Chelsea and at Liverpool, yeah, you can speed up the rebuilding phase a bit quicker than you can at Brighton, because you can buy those players, yeah, if you want them, at the right price, and then you've literally only like 1 or 2 pieces away. If you're 1 or 2 pieces away, I'm pretty sure any manager is going to be able to find a way to make that work, right?
But I get that. I don't disagree with that. I think what bothers me is that, like, okay, you're at Brighton. Things like this are going to take time, right? To build a team the way you want it to be built. Obviously, Brighton's not the richest club, and they're trying to invest in recruiting players that aren't as well known from, you know, outside of the league, so on and so forth. Why leave after 2 seasons, dude? That's the thing that, like, for me, it's like, I look at what Klopp did. What Klopp did took a long time to do, but when he got it done and he had it down pat, it stood the test of time, and he was challenging.
But Marshall, you're not realizing, and this is not obviously disrespect to Brighton here, because I'm not trying to disrespect them, but it's Brighton Football Club, big man. Klopp is a Liverpool Football Club. These players are going to be there for him. Yeah, unless a crazy higher calling happens, which is Real Madrid, yeah, which is the only exception I always give, not Barcelona anymore. If Real Madrid comes scoring or knocking, then he can't stop that.
Bayern came knocking and he decided to not go to Bayern.
But so again,
he's quitting.
But Marshall, you can say, look at Bayern, dude. They're going from man to the manager. They're moving like a brothel worker. They're moving like a prostitute. They're just going to every single guy they can get to try to get some money from. It said this is a job, it's the buying job, and no one's taking them. So that's the difference. Maybe he thought they were too desperate. He didn't really like what they were doing. And I think with
that's if buts and maybes. But the point,
no,
you said maybe.
We're not doing that. No, Marshall, we're not doing that. That's not really if buts. Marshall, that's not if buts and maybe, bro. Even if the flipping Benfica manager, is saying no to you, then there is something that's clearly not going right with that job offer.
Probably, but you've had how many people reject the job, Marshall? What I'm saying is, if buts and maybes is if he felt like he was a last choice. That's what I'm saying. Your if buts and maybes too. What I'm trying to get at is that, for me, the way it looks like is he's giving up on Brighton because he's frustrated that he can't get a tune out of it. And he's not going to another club to maybe see, maybe another club will give me a better chance and more backing.
But who's to say that that's not the case? Maybe he's making sure that no other club doesn't want to pay the 30 million fee that they'll have to pay to Brighton. You know he's got a release cost, right? That's probably why he tried to amicably cut it off. You're not even thinking about that, are you, Marshall? So now Klopp's getting
30 million release clause.
Yes, he had a 30 million release clause. That's why. So, you know, we got him there, boys. We got him there, chat. So, but again, the problem with Zerbi again, and I think where I disagree with Vic here is that, while yes, Pep, and I don't know, I think Arteta is less so. I would disagree with the Arteta point, but with Pep, I can agree. Yes, he's rebuilding the team every season, but look at Klopp again. Klopp is not rebuilding the team. You know who's rebuilding the team? The sporting director is rebuilding the team.
But doesn't Brighton have a sporting director?
Yes, but the problem... But that's
I mean, they have to get a new one now that I think he's going to.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's the point I'm trying to make, Marshall. Look, you look at that, Marshall, right? He's now going to a Chelsea side that's going to build him a top tier squad of up and coming young talents.
He's not coming to Chelsea.
I personally, I'm gonna stick my neck out there to get cut by the guillotine if it happens. But I'm telling you right now, the fact that he's available for a free, and I don't know if you saw that report I sent to you from Pies saying that the sporting directors are kind of like really annoyed about the tactical changes that are really happening right now. I could see a universe where they tap up De Zerbi and like, you're the new Chelsea manager, and then bang, they just kick out Poch.
We'll get to that. I really hope that doesn't happen. But
I don't want it to happen either, Marshall.
Hold on. Let me transition into the next part of this topic I wanted to bring up with you. Is that the thing with me is that your whole Brighton, this is Brighton, it's not United, this is Brighton and all this. I think where this falls apart, Ahmed, is that I'm looking at his time at Sassuolo, and he was there for a while. Sassuolo is pretty much Brighton in the Serie A. They're not a big club. So why, like, this is what I mean, like, why did it last at Sassuolo? Why didn't he just stay at Brighton? Because this is where I stand with it, right? I think next season Brighton would have improved. They would have seen this season, been like, okay, the Zerbi had a lot of injuries. We saw some gaps, and they would have recruited accordingly to fill those gaps. I don't rate the Zerbi, but I especially don't rate him now, because why leave now, dude? Why leave now? You could have had another season to improve on what you had at Brighton. So now you want to go to another club, which I don't know what club he's going to go to. If he goes to United, he's going to fail because it's United. If he goes to Bayern, which is not going to happen, he's going to fail because it's Bayern. Like, what club is going to actually come in for him? And I really hope it's not Chelsea, because now we'll talk more on Chelsea and bring this back for that. But what club realistically is going to want to go for the Zerbi?
United.
I said that already.
United again. I think this is another hot take, by the way. United, by the way. I think again, this is a hot take. Ahmed Abdi hot take. Yeah, United are probably gonna go for McKenna. They're probably gonna go for McKenna and Southgate. I can see that happening. I think Tuchel probably is gonna get woozied into the Barca job, and that's where his career is gonna crash and burn.
Anyone else want to add on to this whole?
Sorry,
I do think the Barcelona job can become open a lot sooner than people think, because I think
No, it's already open, March. All of it's open already. He's getting sacked.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't gotten sacked yet, but apparently he's getting sacked again.
Because I did read that Barcelona aren't happy with the Victor Roque situation.
Fabrizio is the agents in particular as well.
Like,
I'm not happy with it, yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, like if they set a bad example with Victor Roque, then that basically taints them in the Brazilian market. We already know how Real Madrid are doing over there, so you know it's about having a market dominance in that particular area. So if Xavi is the cause of that problem, then they're going to get rid of him.
On a tangent, real quick, I do have to say the Usyk entrance is badass as hell. But Chris, you were interrupted by Ahmed, so I wanted you to actually get your say on the Zerbi.
I mean, you mean from the start? Like,
Yes.
I don't actually think De Zerbi is that special. I don't think he's anything different from a Pochettino.
Marshall, what are you watching on?
We didn't match. But like
a service, Sky Sports.
You want to just link? Do you want to do a little watch party? Me and you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'll join
Let me
that.
know which one.
Like I said, what's saying? Yeah, I don't think he's a manager who will take Chelsea anywhere. Like, maybe he might compete for top 4, maybe. But I think I can say maybe the same for Pochettino, by the way, maybe next season as well. I just think there's not much of a difference from there, so I would still rather keep Pochettino, as bad as he's been. But I would just may as well keep him. I think De Zerbi, I'm not sure how old he is enough, and he doesn't look that old, to be honest. He looks like he's late 40s, maybe early 50s at best. I think he's in his 40s though. But yeah, I think he's still got some learning to do. I don't know where he's gonna go next. I don't think he deserves a big club. He hasn't really shown anything he can get at a big club, but yeah, I'm just not a big fan of him. And if you're losing to Pochettino as well 4 times in one season, I'm not having you, man. You as bad as your squad you say it is, our squad ain't perfect, by the way. If he comes to this club, it ain't gonna be a perfect squad, by the way. It ain't a perfect squad. So I would rather wait for an actual better manager. I'd bring in Tuchel, of course, but we're not getting Tuchel. I'd bring in Sarri, but we're not getting Sarri. There's other managers I'd bring in, but yeah, De Zerbi's not one of them I'd want to bring in. Just now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll end it on this, I guess. Oliver, do you want to bring in De Zerbi if he's available?
No, I don't, and it's not even for the reasons like you've just said. Like, I mean, I guess the style is the main thing. Like, I do like his principles. Like, he's got good team shape. You know, they keep the ball well. it's definitely nice to watch. But my biggest problem with him is, and it goes in tandem with the biggest problem this season for Chelsea. It's been our defence, and that's a point against Pochettino. And I think if we're going to replace Pochettino, we need to get a manager in that's going to be able to shore
Come
that
on,
up.
man! Don't do this to me, Google.
Next few days will be interesting. Okay, Darko, we'll see.
If we're going to replace Poch, I need a manager. One of the priorities for selecting the manager has to be fixing the defence, and I don't think that's going to be on his list of priorities.
100%, 100%. I agree 100%. And Ahmed, you're not for Zerbi.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna crash out if that happens. By the way, no.
You made that very clear. You want me to show that tweet?
Yes, you can show that tweet, bro. Again, I think people listen. I like Zerbi. I just think again, we need a manager that's gonna play. Yes, a style of play that will be his primary style of play, but he's also gonna have the ability to have a secondary, a tertiary. It's the same thing I talk about when I talk about the modern day striker now. The modern day striker, he can't just be just a shooter. He has to have a bit more to his game. And as a manager, you need to be a guy that's able to have, yes, your style of play, what you believe in, but at the same time, be tactically astute to change it around every now and then. That's all it is, bro.
I can't find this tweet.
It's just bridge 258, bro.
I put in the bridge.
The bridge 28. Is it 25?
258.
Oh,
Let me search again.
285. My bad.
Yo, I need to get a new keyboard. My B button doesn't work. It's so annoying.
Why don't you make it more simple, man? The bridge 1. The bridge 2.
Because it's probably taken, Chris.
The bridge 10. The bridge 50.
Chris, man. You know what, Chris, man.
Marshall, what the fuck, Ahmed? You have 2 accounts with the same exact profile picture. Change it up, bro. Get spicy out here. Spicy Ahmed.
Damn, man.
The people have asked for Spicy Ahmed.
We need Spicy Ahmed. That's all almost big as you, man. Or maybe taller. Shit. Fucking hell, it's a big sword.
Man.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't
gonna lead an insurrection with this shit.
Yeah, man. I'm leading a certain something beginning of J.
Is it light?
It's
like
really
very
heavy.
light.
It's
heavy,
very
yeah.
heavy. Yeah, that's why I'm carrying it with one hand. You see
Yeah.
You are not a warrior. You are no berserker.
I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
He's holding it with 2 hands.
More cold, man. You have that sword on your shoulder, man, on one hand. Like, just hold it.
Oh, I want to zoom into this. Hold on.
That looked so. I reckon that would look even better.
Look at that. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. You know what I mean?
A warrior.
He's holding it.
A warrior. Yeah, a warrior.
Holding it. 2 hands.
Yo,
A warrior.
man. Why you doing
Look at
that? Man.
I mean, hold it with one hand. Only 2 hands on the handle.
Incapable. He's gonna drop that sword on someone and kill someone. It'll be an accident.
It's a nice sword, though. It's a nice sword.
That's the Final Fantasy 7 sword, bro.
Yeah,
I remember.
not really played those games. I know my friends have, but yeah, it's a big game, of course.
Chris, that's a autism 101 game, from what I've had. So.
Oh, is that what you heard?
Huh? Hey, you know what I'm saying?
We need to continue, especially now that Andrew's here. We must move on.
Why do you ask Andrew if he was Zerbi at Chelsea? Let's ask Andrew.
I mean, yeah, why not? We'll end it on that. Andrew, I guess your thoughts on Zerbi, and do you want him at Chelsea?
It's been outcoached by Poch 3 times, so no.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. 4 times if you want to count the preseason.
Yeah, that's what I said 4 times.
And one of them we were down to 10 men as well.
Oh,
Still beat him.
That's very true.
Was that the one?
Hang on. No, yeah, it was.
That was the Carabao one. That was the Carabao one.
No, it wasn't.
The 10-man one was the. Oh no, there was actually 2 that we announced. It was the most recent one, and it was the league one. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's actually true.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what?
Gallagher
beat him with 10 men twice.
Ah, that's how.
Do you remember? It was after James got sent off against Newcastle. The game just after that Gallagher got sent.
Yeah, we were up when we up like 2-0 or something like that, and then you had to do that crunching tackle.
That was from the first half. That was in the first half. Gallagher was sent off.
Yo, you seen Usyk, Marshall? You seen Usyk, Marshall, bro?
Yeah, I'm seeing him.
He's looking like a menace, man. He's looking like a menace
really
right
is.
now.
He looks like the bad guy from a movie, man.
You know,
He's doing another Rocky.
You know, in Rocky 3, I think it's Rocky 3, right, when he goes to Russia to fight that guy.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. All right, so let's move on to the next topic I have here, which this came out hours before I started the show. This is Ahmed's number one choice for Chelsea manager. Kieran McKenna linked to Chelsea. This is the Ipswich manager, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, and I really hope it's not true because... Okay, you know what? I don't know. But the way things stand right now, I think we're better off sticking with Poch, but we'll talk on Poch very shortly. Exclusive. Kieran McKenna to be high on Chelsea's shortlist if Pochettino leaves. Brighton also targeting Ipswich manager as replacement for Zerbi. I don't know much about this guy, and I don't know if any of us on the panel know much about him. But I mean, if you do know anything about him, speak on it.
I know.
Former Manchester United coach under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Oh, Jesus.
Left to join Ipswich. He's been linked. It's just doing around. He was linked to Manchester United 2 days ago or this week, something like that. So it's just a name doing the rounds. He's got Ipswich up, which they weren't favoured to get up out of the Championship. So it's just one of those things. It's a name, blah blah blah. It would have been anyone. It could have been any one of the promoted teams. Like I think last weekend I saw an article about the Leicester manager because he used to be one of Pep's assistants. Oh, people should be looking at him, stuff like that. It's just doing the rounds essentially. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fair enough.
He's going to Brighton, man. The way Brighton are moving, he's going to be there next Friday, man. You know, I'm holding the shot.
I don't think he leaves Ipswich. I don't think he leaves.
Fair enough, then.
They're promoted, yeah. You've got them promoted.
Amari Hutchinson was playing on them.
I mean, he's quite young as well, right? He's like in his late 30s.
I don't know.
I think, yeah, he's quite young.
Type in his name, Chris, into Google, and we can see his age.
He doesn't look that old as well, by the way, but I don't know. Wait, sound's coming up.
I'll do it for you, Chris. Let's type in.
No, but like I don't rate Pochettino, but then again, I don't think this manager's gonna take Chelsea to top 4. Maybe compete with the league. So I think just may as well keep a Poch at that point. As much as I don't rate Poch, but this team ain't perfect either. So, like I said, if it's an actual serious manager who's actually done shit, or who's looking like a good potential manager like Xabi Alonso or something, I would definitely take. But these managers are Serbian, and yeah,
Chris. He's 38 years old, born on the 14th of May 1986, and he's from Northern Ireland. Simple.
So he's 38, yeah?
Yeah. He's quite young. Yeah, he looks young.
He's 38, Chris. We just told you.
Yeah, so, yeah, he's young. I think he's probably not done enough, like, long
You know
enough.
what, man? It's crazy to think here of AVB. Imagine if AVB actually came in this era with his age profile. I'm interested to see
He would have still
how
failed.
much. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. It'd be interesting to see how he would be looked at, man.
A failure.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you for letting us know your opinion.
No. He's saying if AVB came through now after winning the thing at Porto, how he'd be looked at, Chris. That's what he's saying.
Oh!
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you now, bro.
Is my camera frozen?
No, I don't
Yes,
think
it is.
No, move.
Yeah, he's frozen.
I'm blinking.
I'll
be right back.
Hey.
I mean, that's the...
Hey, that's a nice note.
I don't know if he's frozen if he's up. He might just.
You know what, Marshall, man? I don't know if Marshall, that picture looks really good, bro. You should use it as a cover picture, bro. Looks good, man. Yeah.
Casual tacticos of Marshall.
You don't ask you to pick for a thumbnail, like that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The thinker.
Yeah. All right, let me restart. Let me get out.
Chris, that was crazy. I heard you, Chris.
I'll be right back. One second.
What happened to him?
All right.
Why can't we actually be? Sorry, I was gonna say, why can't we actually be linked to like Sarri or something? Where's Sarri? Isn't he not like doing anything?
Yeah, he resigned from Leicester.
Yeah,
Sarri's only good to be in Italy.
Why can't we? I really liked Sarri's first spell at Chelsea. I don't know why we can't just look at him.
Sorry,
He's
we're
decent,
actually
man.
enraged some of these guys.
That's the thing. Like, he
Even
probably
though
doesn't
they-
want to come back here. Look how we
Yes.
treated him.
Yeah,
You were killing
half
this
of
guy,
fans,
man.
half of fans treated him like a piece of shit. And then
Yeah,
and now this
man.
fan base likes Pochettino for some reason. Fucking. I don't
And
know
now
why.
they have a Cobham. And now they have a Cobham fetish, even more than they did when it was
You
Cho
know
and
what?
Hunt and-
It's actually insane, yeah, that he was one of the biggest Common fans. They hated him.
Yeah.
I actually deeped it, man. Yeah,
He actually did play a few Cobham. players.
They hated on him
Huh.
for fairly and carefully, meticulously integrating 2 young players. Like, yeah, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. He'd get abused again.
He would actually have a harsher time than Poch, you know. If he was in Poch's position, they would be actually killing him even more for his style of play. But hey, listen.
Oh yeah, they did it back then. Yeah.
So what are
I
your
just
thoughts on
imagine-
Kieran McKenna, Oliver? Because obviously we've had everyone else's opinion.
I've
except
never
yours.
seen a game of Ipswich,
Yeah.
so I have not. I honestly can't contribute anything to this
I
discussion.
think it's. Don't you think, Oliver? It's just a non. I just think it's a non-story. I really do.
No, yeah. Overall, yeah. But if I'm gonna actually put some effort in here, no, I just can't. I just can't conjure up anything in terms of like what I think of it.
Maybe just a way to juice up his rep in it. You know what I mean? So, you
course
know
it
what
is.
you do. So
That would
yeah,
make
that's
sense,
all
yeah.
it is, man. Yeah,
course it
that's
is.
what I think it is. And I also think, man, you know, I was actually gonna ask you this, Andrew. Obviously, now that you know, I know you don't want Zerbi, right? But obviously, there's been obviously rumors around the fact that Poch might be leaving at the end of the season. You now got the Zerbi now. His contract apparently is annulled now, so that means no one's gonna have to pay release costs for him. You can get him on a free. Do you think the club, might be like, you know, with all the players that they have already, you know, that are linked to him? We know that the sporting directors love him. At least Lawrence Stewart, so not Stewart, but Stanley does. I'm not so sure on Stewart. Do you not think that they might do take a punt and go, you know what, Poch, thank you for the Europa League, but it's time for, you know what I mean?
All right.
I
That's
I'm
my worry, by
having
the way.
issues with my camera now.
I don't think they. I don't think they should. I think the players. I don't know, but the players love Poch for some reason. So I don't think they'll budge from it. I think it will take a lot to. Listen, I think he's staying. I think he's staying, whether it's 6th or 5th. I think he's staying. They might concede a little bit of some of the signings this summer, like that, but not all control, like that, something like that. Like they'll go, well, they might go to him, give me a list of the strikers you want. And if it's one on there they really want themselves, then they'll go, oh yeah, and make it out like his choice and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like that. It'll be like that. I think he's staying. Yeah, the Zerbi thing. I don't know. I don't know. I know it all seems too. It seems too perfect.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It feels like, you know, even today, if you read the McKenna article, right? Apparently, because I someone I know read it, and they were talking about how they're frustrated about Poch's last minute tactical change, which has made the team click together and work. Apparently, they don't like his training methods. So clearly, they're like, you know, trying to through ball reasons as to why they maybe want to get Poch out of the club. So I just don't know, man.
But the problem is that all the players are coming out in support of him, right? There's no stories. There's been no stories this year.
Real quick, I hate to do this to you guys. Before we actually get really deep into the Poch discussion, because we will.
Marshall,
One thing. Okay, cool.
You understand.
One thing I did want to bring up before we actually get into that topic is this next one right here, which is the recruitment apparently is off the hook for what happened this season. So I know people were heavily criticizing the recruitment and wanting some type of repercussion for, you know, what happened this season with Poch. But let me show you guys what I have here in terms of a tweet, and then we'll get right into the Poch thing, because I think this transitions right into it, right? So the first tweet we have here is Chelsea's sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart are not facing doubts over their positions as the club prepare for next week's end of season review. And then Matt Lawless here reporting the remit of Winstanley and Stewart extends much further than recruitment, with sources indicating that a lot of work goes unnoticed outside of Stamford Bridge and Chelsea's Cobham training grounds. So, I mean, before we really actually get into the nitty gritty on Poch, do you guys think that this is the right decision on the recruitment?
Who said they're off the hook? Not by me, they're not.
Well, yeah, not by us, the
They're off the
fans.
hook. Why are they off the hook? If they're off the hook, then surely Poch is off the hook.
Yeah, you have to make
Right?
Exactly.
Poch is off. If anything's coming above, oh, you're looking good because some of these signs are paying off, then whatever you think about it, even if I'm against it, well, then why wouldn't they give credit to Poch? I'm not saying they should, but I'm just saying, why doesn't it translate there? Why are they off the hook? They shouldn't be off the hook at all. They should be, if Poch is staying, everything goes to them now in their recruitment. Them high-fiving each other because they've got some Brazilian kid we can't use for a year is not going to get them off the hook with me, or shouldn't get with anyone off the hook at all. It should be actually prime focus this summer. If Poch stays, every bit of focus from Chelsea fans should not be on the manager anymore. It should be on the recruitment, and that's them two.
Yeah.
So off the hook, that's great. I don't know why you would. I don't know why. I think their wins and losses when it comes to the transfers are heavily favoured in the losses at the moment.
Sure.
Let's face it, everyone at this club got lucky that Palmer hit. No one knew what he was going to be like at all. Do you know what I mean? So everyone got lucky. Everyone got lucky. We got lucky. Poch got lucky. The directors got lucky. Like that.
To pick your brain here, Andrew.
Yeah.
Do you actually really think that most of the recruitment that has been done have been losses?
No, what I'm saying is, if you, at the moment, I don't know. Listen, at the moment, let's say after 18 months, I think there are smaller victories than. I think there are bigger losses than that. It's not like it's heavily featured in. The problem is that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get train of thought. The problem is that.
No, you're good, man.
Are we going to take a small sample of the last 4 games and then go, yeah, these signings are really working? If we take the whole overview of the season, Caicedo has really only started clicking. I'm not going to say because Enzo's that team. So really only started clicking in the last month and a half, if we're being serious, right? Really playing patches here and there. Gusto and Palmer, no problem, fine. Palmer, Gusto, Jackson, no problem, fine. Yeah. Madueke, again, has only really started doing it at the back end of the season like he did last year. Mudryk is still a huge question mark. Enzo's had an up and down season. Disasi, very up and down season. Petrovic, I'm still unsure about as going forward as a first choice. Who else? Cucurella has only really started coming in the back end of this season. Sterling, and then all the others I can't really. Actually, you know what? All the others, to be fair, will be non-applicable because I've not seen them do anything like all the youngsters they bought and stuff like that. So, Lavia, question mark. Chukwuemeka, question mark. And stuff like that. And we're still, we're still looking for more talent. Fofana, for me, still a question. The defender, still a question mark. So when you think about it. It's still up and if I'm fair, I'll probably say it's 60-40 me, the 40 being the good transfers so far.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Or 55-45 if you want to do something like that. It's mostly because I don't know a club has ever got transfers throughout their history 100% right. Let's be fair. Yeah? Let's be fair. But,
Chris and Oliver, I'm curious to see if you guys feel the same about the recruitment.
Like I say with this whole, I do agree what Andrew said. A lot of it, if they keep Pochettino as well for another season, of course, Chelsea still not getting top 4. It doesn't matter how many players we think are good and all, good signs like Gusto, Palmer, and all that. We're still failing as a club. We're not getting these top 4 positions, and obviously that's a big part of the manager as well, and that's their recruitment. And it's not good enough, obviously. It's a big investment what these owners are doing and everything. We spent over $1 billion, obviously, on the players, the squad. These young players, like Andrew said, it's good getting these young players, but what's the good when you can't see him for 2 to 3? It could be 2 years, by the way, or 3 years with this Brazilian guy. I don't know if he's good enough. If he is left wing, so he has a chance in this Chelsea team. Maybe next season, because our left wingers have definitely got question marks over Mudryk and all that. And we got to see obviously in Cuckoo's injury record for next season, see how that goes. But yeah, I don't like seeing us sign these so many young players like under 18 for like 40 million. I like us to try and improve our starting 11, but maybe he'd be in our starting 11, not starting 11, but like our squad, next season. Maybe he can do something. But I feel like we got another good young winger in the championship. What's his name? Is it Ange or something?
Omari Hutchinson.
Not Hutchinson, the other one who's supposed to be really good.
Angelo. You mean Angelo?
Angelo,
I mean,
yes.
He's
Yeah,
League
he's
One,
in League One.
Oh,
Is it
League One.
League
Yeah,
One?
League One,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah. My bad on that. But yeah, like I hear he's good as well. And is he like coming next season? So anyway, I just don't like to sign so many young players when we can like maybe sign some actual bigger improvements. But
Oliver, what do you think?
So in terms of like the job they've done in recruitment, I'm a lot more favourable to them, and it's not just for the signings. Like, I think the talents that they've identified, based on some of the links that we've had to players in terms of transfers, they've identified good talents. We've seen that from the clubs that they've gone to and how they've performed in those environments. So I think they've got an eye for talent. I'm just disappointed with how they've handled the manager situation. And if you look at the way the season's gone, a mid-season sacking could have gotten us top 4, and they didn't pull the trigger on that. So if you're asking what I'd do with them, I would demote them to a purely scouting role. I don't think they should be in charge of I say the direction of the club, but the thing is, the problem with the sporting directors and the way we have our club set up right now, it doesn't matter who the sporting directors are to an extent, because the direction for young players is coming from the top.
Exactly.
So unless the mentality changes from your Egbalis and your, whoever else is on the sporting side above the sporting directors, then nothing's really going to change. We're still going to get these 17-year-olds that we can't see in 2 years.
Spot on. He's absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. We need to. The reason Poch should stay if these guys are off the hook is that these guys vetted him for 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. These guys. These are his. He is their choice, not the owners. He is their choice. Okay. They vetted. The owners left them to. The owners left them to do their job, which is what they're supposed to do, and hire. What are you doing?
Sorry,
Shadow boxing.
Oh, I thought you were mimicking me or something like that. I was.
I can't mimic it. No, I'm so sorry, bro. My apologies.
The reason he has a big chance of staying is because he's their pick. So if they're off the hook, surely he should be off the hook. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, because this was a manager that they picked.
And I agree with Oliver. Because remember, Igbali and that had to come in for the Enzo transfer. They had to come in for the Caicedo transfer, where they had 3 months for the Caicedo transfer. The Enzo one, I'll give them a bit of leeway because it was about 4 or 5 days. Do you know what I mean? The Caicedo one was 3 solid months of their own, on their own, which made me laugh because then we got Labia wrapped up in like 5 days, which made me laugh even more. So it's like, this summer is, and we say it every summer, don't we? It's so cliche. But I think this summer is one where everyone apart from the owners, because obviously they're the owners, so they're not going to change. Yeah. Everyone else below them, the sporting director and the manager, the coach, whatever you want to call them, will be under scrutiny going into next season. Yeah, and they should be. Poch stays. That rules out a lot of debates for us in the summer about Poch in, Poch out. Don't have to waste our energy on that. The energy is focused on recruitment and who we get in and who we sell, stuff like that, and then we hit the ground running. Then it goes on Poch that way. So it needs to be. I don't mind how old the player is as long as they're quality. Or at least he's 21. I don't care. He's quality. You know what I mean? I get him.
Same age as Madueke.
We were on Lewis's channel the other day. I might be Friday actually. It was like, oh no, well. We've got too many right wingers. At least say it's better than Mudryk and Madueke combined. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that. And you don't. I'm sorry if I had to sacrifice Mudryk and Madueke for Elise, it's just it's not even a contest.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You get him in. Sterling because he's on 350. He's not gonna move.
But don't you think?
You put Jackson and Cuckoo left or something like that, and Ben Oshman, and it's fine. You got people on the bench you can bring on. It's all good.
I think.
Can I go quickly, Marshall, before you go?
Go ahead, Ahmed.
Because I think this is something that we've said before. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? One thing, like the thing, like I've said this before, like, and I know everyone here said it before about how controlling it seems Baghdad has been. He's like, from what we know, he's the one that's like being there for the day-to-day football activities, and he's been involved heavily. Even at Strasbourg, I don't know if you know this, but he's the one that's been doing the stuff at Strasbourg, by the way, in terms of heading up the transfer stuff.
Yeah. We did go over that a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, side note. Those protests have slowly
Now they like Santos and Angelo.
Yeah, the Luco Lone player scored the winning goal in the derby.
Yeah. So like I just think for me, yeah, like again, so like, I think for me the issue becomes I think for me the issue becomes until Igbari decides I'm gonna be hands off more so.
Yeah.
And let the sporting directors cook, because again the sporting directors I would argue since January when they've come in, I would say there have been majority hits. I would say maybe one or two haven't. You can maybe argue, right? Mudryk, again. And the thing with Mudryk, I've always said, I thought that Mudryk was really more so an ownership signing, more than a directorship signing. In my
But Enzo and Caicedo, they needed Egbali and that to come in and get the deal closed.
No. But that's again, we talk about what the transfers are. I'm talking about identification of talent and then going for it. Right, that's what I think. In my
maybe they can, like Oliver said, they can do that, and then someone else can negotiate.
So, but like, the thing that's weirding me out is like apparently for the Messinho deal that we're just in right now, for Estevao.
Yeah,
right?
We'll talk about that guy. But
Lawrence Stewart was able to get that deal done quickly. So and that is like a big deal, arguably speaking. So if he can get those deals done, how come, like, it seems for me it's only the 200 million deals, like, you know what I mean? So
but let me kind of like bring both of these viewpoints together, and let's actually talk about Poch himself, right? So I think for me, I agree with both of you, mostly everyone in this panel. I think for the most part, that there's been mostly good transfers in terms of like the potential of these players, and if what we're seeing in the last 5 games continues on to next season, then our view of the players that the recruitment brought in changes, and that's on Poch finding a formula now rather than earlier.
Hold that. But Jalen brought some 5 points.
But where I think the recruitment failed is that let's say this doesn't continue into next season, we keep Poch, then the recruitment failed on either one, bringing in the manager who is not suited for this type of job of developing this many young players, or failing the manager in the sense of giving him players that suit his style of football.
Let's be fair to both. Let's be fair to both. And
then we'll go on to talk
whatever
about
whatever you think the injuries were caused by, whether it's part.
That's also a big factor.
It's a fluky thing. It's a medical point issue. For some of these players, we do not know if they're good or not. Like in Kuka, for me, it's still a question mark because of his injury. He doesn't fall under the good. He falls under the question mark. Others like Labia, still something like that. But he is fair. Come on.
TJ McConnell owns your City.
No, but the thing is, with the injury, we don't know what type of impact some of those players would make, given like a near to enough full season. Now it's unrealistic. I mean, in nowadays football, to ask a footballer to be injury free. Some of them have in the squad, to be fair, like a Caicedo, Palmer-ish, Jackson-ish, something like that. But it's unfair on some, so we have no idea how far some of these players, if they're good enough or not, or how far we would have gone with them. And if they get that sorted out and you had a few additions, then maybe we could see something really exciting next season. It's just it's just some of them are question marks. But to be, it's sort of like that. You can have people can have different opinions on different players. I still think it's very close to good and bad. There's no offset. It's sort of in a balance at the moment. So,
what were you gonna say, Chris?
You're talking about Elise's injuries, right? I was gonna.
That's
say
another one too. That if we recruited if we had recruited him in the summer, I think we would be criticizing the recruitment as well because he would have been injury prone.
I mean, he's only. Can I say
Elise.
he's only had
ahead, Chris.
one bad injury season. This season's been obviously the bad season with hamstrings, right? Injury. I think that's it. Like he's missed like obviously over half the season. But like the season before that, I don't think he got really any injuries. Like also, I'm not sure about
We
that.
nearly had him in the summer.
Yeah, and 30
The
million.
thing is, I don't
would
know if we
have
assigned
been
Palmer if we got him.
probably not. And I think I prefer Palmer at this point.
It's the universe, isn't it? It's the universe.
I mean, I would have picked Elise over Palmer first,
Yeah,
but
I
like
would have
now
too.
Palmer.
Everyone would have. There's no Chelsea fan will ever convince me, given the option of last summer, Palmer or Elise, they would go, yeah, Palmer, definitely. Fuck
Maybe
you.
a City fan,
Yeah.
but that's about
Listen,
it.
No. I'm
I
talking
was the
Chelsea fan.
Elise train, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
No Chelsea fan. Oh,
I still want Elise.
me? Oh, it's not. I don't know. It's me. No Chelsea fan will ever convince me last summer they would have gone, yeah, that Cole Palmer, yeah. No, not Elise. Bun Elise. You know,
100%.
he's been in the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League for a few seasons. Palmer's had like 80 minutes or something. Yeah, I'm going to choose Palmer. Screw you. Yeah.
How much is he? Has he got a buyout clause now? He's like 60 million. Something.
Elise?
70 million. It's around 70 million apparently. That's
Jesus. Yeah.
That's the
It is a
He's
risk,
a good player though.
right? If he doesn't get
Bro, it's
injured
only
next
30 million
season,
more, bro. 30 million more from last time.
I mean, it still adds, but that's
It
a
adds
big
up,
sum. Like 70, 60
Seeing
million
as
is
we're
still.
not- Sorry, Chris. Seeing as we're probably not going to, in my opinion, for the first team, have a lot of people coming in. It might not. You know, especially if we've got people got a lot going out. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say if like Sterling, he has to leave first. I think everyone bringing Elise and maybe Mudryk has to, I don't know, alone or
Fine.
Sal.
Strasbourg, 5 years. It's all good.
5 years.
The problem
Well, they've got an 8-year contract, isn't it?
The problem
Yeah,
with Sterling
but
is
like,
that
we don't know what he's
Marshall, sorry,
getting
not
out.
Marshall. Chris. The problem with Sterling is that Sterling's playing on a position that at least he's not going to play. So
Do me a favour, can we,
fundamentally-
right.
Marshall, why do
That's
why
me
are we
being fair.
discussing it?
Mad
Can we
Wakey
bring
has
up
to go.
Elise's
Mad
injury
Wakey
record?
definitely has to go.
Sure.
Yeah, so no, Chris, no, yeah, Mudryk and Madueke I don't care. Mudryk I care far less about than Madueke, but even Madueke, if it comes to, if they go to us, oh yeah, could you offer us Madueke? Fine. Ready, say done.
man,
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree.
I'm with you there. Like I saw Mad
Yeah,
Wakey.
done.
I'm
Well,
looking
I
at
have
this
too much
injury
belief.
record,
I have
and
too
it's
much
not
belief. I have
bad.
too much belief. I have too much belief in Madueke.
It's not looking bad.
I can't sell my stock.
This is his injury record.
Can you make that page any bigger? Okay. All right. So what would pop up to me is the hamstrings, but they're like nearly a year apart, or like nearly a year apart. So
Jesus Christ, he was out for almost a season for this one.
yeah, but remember that's June the 26th, so it's like you're missing like 2.5 months due to the
Oh,
season.
yeah.
So yeah, nothing too bad. Last one.
Nothing to show reoccurring. Like,
Yeah, nothing to show reoccurring. Hamstrings are
Fair enough.
hamstrings. It's not a Reece Ham. I was going to say Reece Hamstring. I don't know why I was going to say Reece Hamstring then. It was a Reece James issue and stuff, or a Kante issue or something like that. So not that bad. So the injury before. So it's an injury every season, but even that, it's like the one in 21-22 was inflammation of the. I mean, it's 12 days. So I think his injury record is slightly overblown by people. I think they just see, he was out for this long, and they don't look at the dates he was out for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think this could be doable. But I mean, actually, while we're here, let's actually transition over to talking more and focusing more on the Poch situation. And yeah, we'll bring it back to Elise and all that if we need to. But let's start off with this first tweet on Poch. Apparently he's set to stay, but let's begin here. There's a growing feeling that Mauricio Pochettino will stay at Chelsea. Sources believe the club was leaning towards sacking the 52-year-old a few weeks ago, only for positive results to alter the picture. Then we have here Mauricio Pochettino wants to stay at Chelsea and is likely to cite the data when he sits down with the sporting directors Winstanley and Stewart and potentially the co-owners like Boehly and Feliciano. There is growing sense at Chelsea that Mauricio Pochettino deserves to stay in charge It did not go unnoticed that his in-game tactical tweaks were crucial to his victory, changing the complexion of the context with proactive substitutions. It is suggested that Pochettino took too long to settle on the right tactical formula, and this is concern that his training methods may have contributed to Chelsea's injury problems, according to Jacob Steinberg. We continue on. More from Jacob Steinberg. Mauricio Pochettino has the support of key figures at Chelsea before an end of the season review that will determine the manager's future. Mauricio Pochettino has backing of Chelsea players, the majority of whom do not want to see him sacked, according to Kieran Gill. Several have improved as the season has progressed, with Moises Caicedo among those now showing why he was signed for such a whopping fee. His first time pass into James in the build-up to Jackson's winner was as crucial as an assist. Chelsea head coach Mauricio Pochettino on being backed by Todd Boehly. It's always important to have the backing of the owners. They are the bosses, and of course, because it's best for the club. It's best for the players and the club and for the fans. We know very well that the coaches are always judged on results and in a very short period, but yes, it's important to feel the backing. Then we have here, why is this one small? What the hell? Okay. That was weird. Chelsea begged that Boehly was understood to have reservations, on Pochettino from the start, but emotion was taken out of it, and the result post-Arsenal have shifted the dynamic. We have, continuing on here from Fabrizio now, Pochettino on Chelsea future. The important thing is we've started building the structure. We're wanting to build our house step by step, very solid. If very happy to live like this. We'll be strong for the next few years. It'll allow us to fight for things. Pochettino, when asked whether he thought there was a point he'd be sacked, I could be honest, I think after Wolves. I didn't think we were going to be sacked, but it was a tough moment. That defeat at home was really tough, really tough. We continue on from Mail Sport, Mauricio Pochettino. We're not going to celebrate and take a picture finishing 5th or 6th in Europe. It's not enough for the club. It's not enough for the owners, the sporting directors, or the players. But with all the circumstances, I feel satisfaction. Which, fair play. He's saying the right thing right now, but he also said things like this in the beginning of the season. But let's continue. Mauricio Pochettino has been flexing his muscles. He may sense that Chelsea need him more than he needs them. They will need to decide whether missing out on initial target of a top 4 finish is acceptable. The view is that this is a top 4 squad, according to Jacob Steinberg. Let me see how many more. I got 3 more. Chelsea head coach Mauricio Pochettino on summer plans. That is a conversation with sporting directors, the owners involved. I'm trying to see how we can move forward. Football is a very dramatic sport. Yes, we are working to plan the summer strategy, preseason, and start season in the best condition. Mauricio Pochettino will go into the review with his own views. He wants more control over signings, but there could be tension if Chelsea press ahead with plans to sell Gallagher and Chalobah, according to Jacob Steinberg again. More from Jacob Steinberg. There is a lot of chatter, and any decision to change manager would need to be signed off by Boehly and Clearlake. At the moment, though, Chelsea we're looking at potential replacements for Pochettino in February. The feeling is that he stays, and I already went too ahead of myself here. So, it seems like he's going to stay. There's a few key members of the board that want to keep him, that are, I guess, keeping him in the job. And to be honest, where I stand with this right now is that, obviously, the beginning of the season, I said a trophy run and 6th place finish. If he finishes in 6th place, then I give him next season. If there is an opportunity next season to replace him with another manager, and if results don't start being more consistently trending in the right direction, then I will replace him. I'm still Poch out, but I will give him next season. Because right now, the managerial market is just not looking good anymore.
So, I think at the start I said 6 and maybe a cup. If he finishes 6, I can't be hypocritical and say he should definitely go. If he finishes 5th, for me, no matter what you think of this season, that's a big tick in his column, finishing 5th. Now, what might not go what might go against him is the fact that if you just look at that without context and go, yeah, fifth's great, but if you actually look at it and go, if he'd made some tweaks earlier, like 5 to 10 games earlier, there was a chance that we could finish fourth. Aston Villa, for the past 6 weeks, have been crap. But fortunately for them, every time they've lost or dropped points, Spurs lost and dropped points. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking. So you've got to take it like that. Listen. I don't know how that comment when they said it's a top 4 squad at the start of the season. I don't know how they looked at that without getting a goalkeeper and a striker, a recognised goalkeeper, a recognised striker at least, and going, that's a definite top 4 squad. It wasn't for me. Now, some of these have surprised us. But again, if we're sitting there and going, if we're sitting there being fair and going, if we didn't have all these injuries, or we had like half those players, but like we had Nkuku for 1.5 the season, or Lavia for 1.5 the season, and something like that, we might be sitting in top 4 going into the last day, going, we're because let's face it, even if we get those drop points against Brentford, Burnley, and Sheffield United, we get those 6 extra points, yeah. We're 2 points behind Villa, with us at home to Bournemouth, and they're going away to Palace. Yeah? An informed Crystal Palace. You know what I mean? And we're going, shit, we're in it for the last day. It's just, there's so many ifs and whatabouts, and if this had happened and that happened, it's such small margins. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I think if he gets fifth, I think he's staying anyway. But if he gets fifth, he's definitely staying for me if he's getting fifth.
Yeah, I think Joel brings up a really good point here. We would have been much more satisfied if we dropped points to the bigger teams, not teams like Nottingham or 10-man Burnley. I think that's the context that is missing here, right? Is that this season I was expecting to drop point. The reason I said 6, right, is because this season I was expecting to drop points to the teams that have already established a style of play, have a proper, class manager, already in top 4 contention. United, I was expecting to drop points to, this is prior to the season that we had, right? I was expecting to drop points to United. I was expecting to drop points to Arsenal, City, Liverpool, even Spurs to an extent. Those teams are already built. Those teams are already in the battle for top 4. I knew we were going to rebuild. I knew there was a lot of inexperience. What I didn't expect was the opposite, to drop points against the bottom 3 and not the top 4. So dropping points against the bottom 3 is where I'm pissed off, because those are the games that if you want to be in contention, if you want to compete for the league, those are the games that you must win. You have to win. By default, you have to win. It's acceptable to drop points to a highly competitive side because they're competitive. They have players that are experienced. They're ahead of the game. They have the advantage. That wasn't necessarily the case this season. Yeah, we didn't necessarily pick up points or win all those games. We did the double on Spurs, which that's fantastic. But we got 1 point out of Arsenal. We got 2 points out of City. 1 point out of Liverpool. It's not like we had a great run against those teams either, but we weren't expected to. So all those things combined lead to us having such a tumultuous season. Now, at the end of the day, Pochettino decided to study for his exams last minute, and managed to get just below what we want him to get, and just passing. Just a passing grade is what's happening right now. And people are trying to, Poch 100% deserves to stay. Based off of what? The last 5 games? What about the whole rest of the season before that? Which is what I'm getting at.
Poch has to be the minimum expectation. So how can you say that he has to say?
He hasn't met it yet. But if he wins the next game and United drop in the FA Cup,
he only needs a draw. He only needs a draw, but they didn't even need to win.
He only needs a draw. Yeah, exactly. But we're banking on if City turn up, and which I hope they should. And if they win, then we get Europe.
If you really want Sheffield United, to turn up against Spurs on the last day of the season, which is very unlikely, by the way. Exactly. So let's be real, boys.
Yeah, exactly, Joel. It's like passing with a D+. That's what Pochettino's done this season.
Oh, he's bleeding.
Yeah. So it's like passing with a D plus. It's like
you know what, Marshall. Sorry, you know what, Staffy? Yeah, I'll focus on your own club, big man. You know what I mean? Your club is crap. Your club is shite. Yeah. And last but not
He
least,
knows that.
See, like, the thing is, like, I know Staffy's waffling. Like, I know he's just trolling me because I could do the same thing to him. What do you mean? Like, how can you expect Ten Hag to get any results when he has no center backs?
Yeah,
How can you expect him to get any results when he doesn't have anyone that is recruiting
he's
players
got
for him?
I mean, they've had
He wasn't
one of the
there. He
worst
wasn't there in the
injuries
past
to see,
3
by
4
the way.
games. They have
he
no
was.
center backs.
World-class
They've
Ryan was
had
there.
to use Casemiro as a
And
center
Johnny
back.
Evans. And
Johnny Evans. So how do you expect Ten Hag to succeed when he's got those tools?
He signed Johnny
And-
Evans.
I mean, no, he accepted. I think he doesn't like. If he can choose a better centre back, he would want a better centre back. Come on.
No, he had him in.
But
he had him in
But
pre-season.
Oliver,
not
my
like his
point,
first
Oliver,
choice.
you missed my point before. Was that how do you his talent ID is not good? He doesn't have a structure where people recruit players for him. Where Terry Ten Hag goes and tells them, "Hey, I'm looking for this type of player. I'm thinking Johnny Evans could do that." I was like, "No. There's better options. Let's get you in a Tosin or something." You know, like there's nothing that for them. So how is he expected to succeed? You know, players are downing tools. Players with ego, like Marcus Rashford, who doesn't deserve to even have an ego.
No.
They're
You know
downing
what,
tools.
man?
Listen. I'm doing what Staffy's doing to me, but with Poch, so I
I
can do the
agree.
same exact fucking thing.
No, man, you know it is, man. Yeah, man. It's still. I think Poch. I think Ten Hag, man. He believes in Rashford. He believes in everything. You know what I mean?
Next season, he's gonna have more of a structure. He's gonna be given more of a platform to succeed, and I think he'll cook. See, I can do the same thing.
Next season,
Let's bring it back to
Johnny
Poch.
Ryder.
Let's bring it back to Poch.
Walking emoji. The walking emoji. I like that. I like that nickname. The walking emoji.
Just debate him in the chat. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, the walking emoji.
But yeah,
no, listen. If they wanted to, you could break down every single game this season. If they wanted to.
yeah.
When
They
he
probably
did well,
will.
and then there was something questionable that he did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can break it down if they wanted to do that. I think the manager market is very unpredictable, if I'm being fair to it.
That is very true.
So many question marks over everyone. Who's going to Bayern haven't got their Bayern aren't signing to Zerbi up, so who are they going to get? Bayern are still looking for someone.
Jose Mourinho to the shop.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Manchester, Man United are still out looking for someone. I think Slot's confirmed. I think it's been officially confirmed by Liverpool.
Slot announced that he's going to Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay,
He
he announced, but the club didn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, in his last press conference,
That'd be pie in his face if he doesn't go.
in his
That's
last
fine.
press conference, yeah, in his
But
last
that's
press
it.
conference, yeah,
Hey, man.
that's what he said. He said in his
I've
last.
seen a lot of things. Strange reaction. Juventus could be looking for a manager, although Thiago Motta might go there.
Apparently, it's also confirmed that one, Marshall.
Yeah,
That's right.
Napoli is still looking for a manager.
Conte, apparently.
Well, Conte, no, Deleuran said, you said Conte. I never said Conte in a press conference the other day. So, in a, it's all, they're all question marks, right? They're all question marks. And what will work in his favour is the fact of a relationship with the players. We're not getting any bad stories coming out about Poch from the players or like
Hasn't lost
attributed
the
to the
locker room.
players, which would happen usually.
Does that matter, though? I'm sorry to say this, guys. Yeah, this might be a hot take.
I think it
think
matters.
it should not.
I don't necessarily think what the players think necessarily matter when as the game's gone on. It's not. Oh my
I
God!
mean,
He might be gone.
No. Oh fuck!
No,
Oh fuck! But sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry.
Go ahead.
Unmute. Someone mute him.
I got it.
Oh shit!
Go ahead, Chris.
He took me by fucking surprise, Ahmed. What he's saying, but what he said, Ahmed said it doesn't matter. I think it does matter because if the players don't back you, by the way, and they've turned against you, it's over. It's fully over as a manager. But they haven't done that, so he's not over. So he still has room for error, maybe, and he can still keep pushing, and these players can still work for him. They haven't lost trust in Pochettino by the looks of it. So I think what Ahmed said was wrong, by the way. But Ahmed almost took me by distraction in his reaction.
Yeah.
I did see what he saw there as well. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Oliver. Actually, before I go, Oliver, obviously, I want you to have your say on this as well. What do you think about the situation. And I mean, also, what do you think about the importance of having the players on the side?
I mean, it's definitely important. An unhappy dressing room will only accelerate any sort of departure talks.
That's true.
You know, you're assuming that the people that are at Cobham day to day, you know, they'd see that stuff, and it would eventually go up the grapevine and get to the owners, get to the sporting directors, and yeah, it definitely matters.
Yeah.
In terms of Pochettino, like I stand where I've stood all season. It's been a disappointing season. Like, we could have made top 4. Poch should have made top 4 because, you know, he didn't figure out these tactics in game week 34. You know, we had this in the reserves from pre-season. So
yeah,
this wasn't some crazy light bulb moment. You know,
yeah.
He had this and he refused to use it. And I'm based on the reports, that's being taken into consideration in this review, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy that we're actually having a proper, thorough review of the season, and it's not going to be just, oh, he improved in the final 5 games, so let's continue.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like this tweet right here actually annoys me, which obviously I want to see the whole quote, but like I think general gist, he has actually said this, that like, you know, he said it with a different analogy earlier, like you got to build a chair first before you can sit and all this. Now he's saying the house and stuff. Like, dude, I understand that you do have to establish your system, but you didn't give our players a blueprint to follow up until just recent games, up until the second half of the season. Like, you know, you were playing players out of position, like to me, right? And I'm not a manager, I'm not no football tactico or anything. I'm just a casual, which is why I'm here, right? To me, I would think, let's play players in their best positions, the positions that they know best. Let them get used to playing with their partners before you start to really like expand and try to do all types of experimental things. Like, you're not Guardiola. Guardiola can get away with that. We've seen it with Vardio, right? He played him out of position for a long time, and now we're seeing the fruits of that labor. Now Vardio looks amazing in that position, and now I see the picture of what Pep Guardiola is doing. But it wasn't working at first. You're not that guy, Pochettino. Not many people are that guy. So I think that's a criticism, right? Like, you could have started this system from the beginning if you really wanted to integrate it. And it's not like you didn't. You started in the preseason and you scrapped it and went for this. And, you know, on the other note on Poch as well is that the having the players is important, I think. And I think he's very, unlike Potter, where Potter didn't demand respect in a sense. He was too friendly, let them get away with too much, and gave them breaks and all this and that. I think what I do like what Poch has done is that he's established a sort of respectable rapport with all the players, that they do respect him. He's not, you know, he hasn't ousted anyone necessarily. Like, I'm sure David Washington, if he were a known player, 26 years old, we'd have a different story. But because he's young, because he understands his role in the team, he's not better than Jackson, so on and so forth. We've not seen him. He's not going to throw up a fuss. So that favors Poch in the sense that he does have a young team that's not going to throw up a fuss and have a lot of personalities. Because I guarantee you, if an Enzo or a Caicedo would have come out and been like, dude, I'm not happy with how this manager's playing me, then you guarantee you Igbali or Boehly come out and, you know, we hear him get sacked earlier in the season after the 4-1 loss to Wolves. I'm sure that would have happened. But I think because Pochettino played his cards right in that sense, it hasn't happened. It's given him time. And we see that the players still are receptive to his tactics. So in a sense, like, I think it does matter because he has that in his favor. And it does help him out. And, you know, like I said, if he continues on this form next season, which I hope he does, then I'm willing to give him next season. And he could potentially change my mind, and I might be Poch in next season.
I think that's where we're at now. Like, you kind of, I'm personally at a stage, I've kind of accepted that he's going to be here next season, and with that, I'm gonna back him. No, I don't want him to fail, but we have to hit the ground running.
Yeah, and against Staffy,
that's the number one condition.
And against Staffy, like you say, he's fixed things. 4 wins in a row isn't fixing things. That's such a small pool to take from. And it's like, I'm not saying you do this, but it's very disingenuous when Chelsea fans actually do this. Like, just stop pretending like these last 4 games in a row that we've won, and now the position that we're in is fixing things. No, there's a whole general picture to look at and a route that was used to get here. And mind you, here's a frustrating thing that Oliver alluded to. If he had not fucked around earlier in the season, we could be having a different discussion about, wow, you've exceeded expectations. You are now in top 4, especially when the rest of the league, and Andrew has said this vehemently, the quality of the rest of the league has dropped down. This would have been a great time to take advantage of that and actually have, be back in Champions League. Because Poch fucked around a lot in the beginning of the season, playing players out of position, so on and so forth, we are where we are. At the end of the day, yes, I'm grateful we're back in Europe, but, there was a whole... We could have been a lot better,
So anyone who thinks like that will go, like, want to do the Men in Black mind swipe thing and just go, let's just focus on the last 4 or 5 games. Fine. Okay, that's fine. Then what you have to accept them from people who doubt Poch or anything like that.
I don't want Poch
is that he has to hit the ground running no matter what. Start of the season. So at the end of the first 10 league games, he has to be over 20 points then. 21 to 24 points, something like that. For us to go, oh, it wasn't just a flash in the pan. Let's be like that. That's what you have to. That's what. If you think he's turned the corner or something like that, absolutely fine. I'm not talking about title charge. I'm not talking about that whatsoever. I'm just saying he has to start running. Whatever happens after that happens after that. Do you know what I mean? It has to be like that, and we have to be better at not conceding from set pieces and better cohesively and stuff like that. So he has to do that.
Yeah. And even next season, right? Like, because everyone's saying, okay, if we finish 6, next season has to be top 4. Right. I get that. It's going to be tough, but I understand. Next season has to be top 4. However, I'm willing to be patient and give it time as long as... there's a tweet, and I wish I found it, where it shows where we were on the table after each game. Dude, we were in 10th for most of the season. It's not like we were in 6th, 5th, 6th. Like we were in
11th, end of March, start of April.
So for me, where I'm getting at with this is that, like, if next season we're in that conversation, like 5th, 6th, 5th, 7th, go back up to 4th, so on and so forth, then I'm like, okay, I'm patient. This is good. This is what I want. I don't want to be in 10th place thinking like, all right, dude, we're stuck here. We're far away from competing. Let's be in the competition. Let's be in the conversation for top 4. If you make top 4 or not, that'll be something we'll discuss at the end of next season, and then I'll be the judge of whether or not you should stay or not, in my opinion. But
then
give me an argument.
But then it falls back
Marshall,
on
but I can ask. I'll let you go.
Ahmed, go ahead.
Then it falls back.
The point I was.
Ahmed, I let Ahmed go. Ahmed let him surfer go. Ahmed the surfer.
The point I was. You know what the irony is?
Yeah, but then I said.
You know what you know what the irony is? One of the big ironies here is that, there were times this season, I think we were 12th at one point, right? We were 13th or 12th or something like that.
Yeah,
at one point in the season, if I'm not mistaken.
I think we've been as low as 16th.
Yeah, we've been at
low
low.
as
But one of the biggest ironies here about this, like for example, the season alone, is that we have been in very low positions. But if we had actually just gotten an extra win, maybe scored that goal, of course, I'm speaking hypothetically, right? We could have been, back in the top 6, 5th, or even 4th, hypothetically. And that's kind of what is annoying me. We've not been clinical enough. We've not been able to, at times be a bit more, tactically savvy. I think that's what, when it comes down to it, boys, that's what it is. We can deny whatever you want, but the reality with Poch is that, Safi, you can say could have, but the reality is,
the thing.
a lot of the stuff that we've seen this season, what does it come down to? Tactical. It comes down to tactical stuff. We can,
that's rich coming from you, by the way, Staffy. That's rich coming from you.
We could have said, people could have said,
do you know what? You know
Go
what?
ahead.
You're
You're a
right.
bit loud,
We
Oliver.
are.
Bit loud,
You know, we are entitled. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
We are entitled as a big club to want better and to a manager to do better when he has the opportunity to do so. You are right. We're entitled. Absolutely right. We're entitled
here's
to
the
be
thing.
top four.
And Andrew, you were in the streams when I said this. Ahmed, you've been in the streams where I said this. Earlier in the season, when asked where would I rather be, in United's position or Chelsea's position, and I wanted to be in United's, because at least in United I'm in Europe. I know the results aren't great, the football's not great, but I'm in there. I'm in the conversation. I'm getting the results, and that's what annoyed me so much about United this season, is that they were in 6th, they were in 7th, they were in the conversation. This is the league. This is our position in the league after each game. We were consistently in 10th. We weren't in a conversation for top 4. People were saying we were washed. I wouldn't mind this season if we were at least 5th, 6th in the table constantly. The fact that we were 10th was the part that annoyed me the most, because that means we weren't beating the teams above us, and we were barely beating the teams below us. We're somewhere in the middle.
What we've been saying all season is that, and Lewis has been doing this, going, if we just had a little bit of structure, these players are better than what they look like. We're seeing it. Yeah? Which is a little bit of structure, just a little tactic change, which he had all along. The injuries didn't affect his tactic change, by the way. The injuries, people being out, never affected them. Okay? He had those players to make that tactic change all along, and he didn't do it until like the second half of Villa. So that's what we were saying. We weren't saying, if he'd done this earlier in the season, then you wouldn't hear a lot about Poch this season, because of how the squad is set up and the injuries and stuff like that. He had that all in his back pocket at his disposal to do, and he didn't do it for some reason.
Yeah. And no, we won't have egg in our face, because
you know when he's typing,
expectations change.
You know when he's typing, he's got a big smile on his face, and he's just waiting to see who bites. Essentially, you know that, right?
I know
that's what's happening right now. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. He's bored or something. You know what I mean? That's what he's doing.
He's here for the content.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
But I just think if he stays, which we still have to say if, the first 10 games of next season, he needs to hit the ground running. You know, I'm not asking him to win 10 out of 10. I'm asking him to get like anywhere from 20 to 23 points. You know, and I'm not saying title challenge either. I'm just saying start off and then see what happens. I want to give the Europa League a real go next year. Do you know what I mean? If we're in the Europa League, I want to have a real go, real focus on that. I would.
Andrew should just be a real
So
guy.
I will sacrifice the League Cup and the FA Cup for Europa League.
I agree.
I would sacrifice it. Europa League prize at the end of the day is champion. We all know that. It's not about winning Europa League. It's not about lifting Europa League Cup. I know. It's about getting the Champions League. So I would give that a real go. Now, obviously, this context depends on where we are in the league at that time. Do you know what I mean? But from the outset, that should be focused. That is an easier path to get to the Champions League than actually finishing in the league. Yeah.
I just want to say I agree with Andrew totally on that, but I would also like to add, you have to win the Europa League, man. I know a lot of people might not like to. People need to hear that. You know, that's a minimum expectation at Chelsea. Europa League is a must-win. You know what I mean? We have to win it. That's it, simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, people listen. Can we win the FA Cup? Yes, we should. Should we win the cup? Yes, we should. But again, you know, for me, if you're a top team, if you're a team that believes in itself, believes in the players, you know, and you think that this is what we can do, we should be going full for.
I think if it comes to a point of it, because the League Cup's up first, it's probably like you could focus on winning that, but it's like when it comes to the end of the season,
fair enough. You know what? Fair enough.
Yeah, it comes to winning like that. So if you focus on the League Cup, Europa League, and the league and stuff like that, that's fine.
Of
But
course,
I'm just sitting here now looking at the squad as it is comprised now without any new additions and thinking, you know, what to do. I'm not one of these. I'm not like an Arsenal fan going, "Ooh, we're too big to win that." No, man. If you want to go for it, I would have loved to win the League Cup this year. It would have been fine. I want to win trophies, get that trophy total up higher and higher as quickly as possible.
Please.
But yeah, I mean, I want to have. I don't want to bin off the Europa League. As we sit here right now.
And I agree with Ahmed too. I think with me, I have reservations because I want to see a bigger sample size of the last 5 games for me to be confidently going like, yes, we must win the Europa League, because I'm worried like, what happens if we lose tomorrow? What happens if we go back to how we were? Because that's how inconsistent this team has been.
You know what it is also ironically, you know, like if you look back at the last 2 games, we've gone back to some of the tactics that he was doing previously too.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. But now the players that he needed are back, and they're kind of saving him. Like, you know, the Sterling, the Nkunkus.
So that's the issue. The thing
Sorry,
is,
I didn't mean anything by that. I just happened to be
No, but I agree with you. Like, the players are now doing the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The players are actually the ones that are now, you know, doing the job. Whether it be Nkunku, Jackson, Palmer, they're the ones that are just doing the individual brilliance moments to help us, you know, and work and the chemistry they have together to get that job done. That's and that's just the last 2 games specifically I'm talking about. The other 3 games, you could clearly tell he had changed the style of play completely. Like, you could see that with your own eyes. But Brighton, and then the previous game before that, which I can't remember right now, Forest, you could see it, bro. Forest in particular, because we were really slow. I need to mute myself for the reaction here.
Yeah. I know the Usyk Tyson Fury fight just ended.
See, Ty's last comment, right? You know what annoys me about it most is that there's nothing you'd think it absolves Poch, who knew what was happening, knew that he wasn't going to buy players, knew what the project was, probably had a hand of injuring the players himself, because most of them got injured off the pitch.
He must have just tuned in because he didn't see the part where we were criticizing.
Yeah, at Cobham. Let's not this thing about like, oh, Poch is so it's not. Poch wasn't the problem at all. Like the Sam likes to say and stuff like that. What?
Usyk one.
You know you make weird. You make
should have seen the sound
noises like a gremlin, don't you? You're like Gizmo. You make weird noises.
What did I do? I didn't make any sounds. I unmuted. I muted the time.
You did that earlier.
Yeah, you do make a lot of noises.
If we're ridiculous, you know how ironic that is that you're saying we're ridiculous. You're watching the show and commentating. Right? If we're ridiculous, what's the point?
Andrew, imagine
that.
If Ahmed was a professional footballer, he scores a goal and he goes,
No!
Oh shit, bro!
Let me just say this right now, by the way, yeah. Fury, you are a fraud. Hold that, you know. Man was doing all this, you know what I mean? Then got bit and almost knocked out, you know. Hold that, Fury.
Exactly what Serp was talking about. I'm so dead, bro.
Do not feed Ahmed after midnight, and do not pour water on him or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Actually, you sound like a gremlin and a Pokemon mixed into one. That's what it is. No, but Ty's comment in the one where he said, "You fans and YouTube pundits are ridiculous." Why are you watching it and commenting? I don't understand it.
I don't think Tayo's even a Chelsea.
You're ridiculous for trying to absolve Poch of anything at all this season. It doesn't work like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It does not work like that. So let's be honest and serious. We've not blamed him fully for everything, but anything on the pitch is mostly down to him. The players not finishing their chances, you can't hold them accountable for, but setting us up to get them. The reason, you missed so many big chances, wouldn't matter if we weren't conceding 62 league goals.
Exactly.
He's your burner. I don't think so, Staffy. Don't even try that. Yeah. Why would you have a burner? You're opinionated by yourself. Why would you need a burner to be opinionated?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, look at this, man. Staffy bot.
But I think for me, again, time will tell. If he gets 6, which, by the way, one thing I wanted to point out too is this whole end of season review thing is getting so blown out of the water. All managers go through it. This isn't just exclusive to Poch. Every manager gets an end of the season review. Okay, you're not gonna have a shit season, and the ownership is gonna look at you as a manager and All right, cool. It was just part of your contract. Let's continue on. No. Every manager gets a review, whether it's made public or not, at the end of the season. So this isn't exclusive to Poch.
No, it isn't. But I'll tell you what, I'm annoyed at the fact, the way Pochettino's reacting to this whole thing, how, oh, my future's uncertain, but that's the problem for him. When, if anything, the fact that we're having an end-of-season review has actually saved him from getting sacked in the middle of the season.
That's true.
So
That's true.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
In the real world, employees are not reassured 24/7 of their job security. You go and do your job, and if you do it well, you stay. Most of the time, that's what it is.
That is.
If he'd had a good season and won something and be comfortable like that in a European place, no one would be talking about a review.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So this is all headlines and stuff.
Yo, that's crazy. Zerbi will do Ten Hag like Usyk did Fury. Do you know what it is, man? Again, the Zerbi, I'm telling you, I have a feeling in my gut, you know, and usually my gut isn't wrong. Usually, you know what I mean?
Probably gas.
With Poch, no. When it's a saying essentially, yeah, you know what I mean. But like, usually, you know what I mean. But usually, whenever I was thinking in my brain all the time, yeah, Poch, and you know. Big club mentality.
All the time.
That's your problem. That's your problem.
With Poch out in it. I was thinking about big club mentality with Poch out. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm going now with my gut feeling, yeah. And I thought this is the new manager. It feels like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like that move in Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. In I'm forgetting the card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, one day you fell into my trap card, and then he just does this, then I do that, then I do this, and you're finished. That's what it feels like, man. This deserving stuff today. Yeah, man. And also, CFC Zubs, yeah, you're a fraud. That's what I remember that always.
Anyways, all this to say, let's win or draw tomorrow. Let's get into Europe, right? And then next season, if we continue on like this. Because there's no way he's not gonna bolster the squad, right? If he bolsters the squad in the right way, we get rid of the players that we don't need, get the loans right, all that stuff. Time will tell. It's very likely, it's very possible, and I think I can speak for everyone here, that if we continue on in this form, if we continue on in a good way, that everyone who is Poch in will eventually flip, and well, not everyone, people in the panel that are Poch out, which are most of us, will turn and consider Poch and be Poch in again. I think that's fair.
Cheers,
big up to Lewis. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you, my guy. Welcome everyone. If you haven't been here before, this is Casually FC. I'm Marshalldbdx, the host. We do a nice little 3-hour podcast show where we'll talk about the news and wrap it up and all nice 3-hour bite size or meal size show for you to enjoy while you're at work or whatever. But yeah, big up, man.
WrestleMania every 3 days. That's what he does.
Yeah, pretty much. But we just finished talking about Poch. Smash the like if you just came from the raid. Again, big up Lewis every time for the raid. And subscribe. We're on our way to 3K, so help us get to that goal. But I think it's time for us to move away from Poch into the other big story that everyone's talking about. And that's the Brazilian wonder kid himself. Estevao Willian is a here we go of the season. Let's go. Okay, let's get into it because there's a lot of details to discuss on this, right? A lot of people had reservations, including Real Chicken Nugget Chris himself. But Chris, I got you, my friend.
Why are you not calling by his other name, Marshall? Like, the other name's better, man. Trust me.
I hope you. We'll discuss later. So let's talk about, because the name we're going to talk about is Estevao Willian. Okay. So according to Bruno and RD, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Sources: Chelsea negotiators are in Brazil for Estevao Willian and will be present at Allianz Park this Wednesday. The idea is to speed up the negotiations with Palmeiras. The value under discussion for transfer is 60 million euros, fixed and variable. Then we have here from CL Merlo. Chelsea have reached an agreement with Palmeiras for Estevao Willian. The last offer sent by the London club was a guaranteed fee of 65 million euros without objectives, which was accepted. Now, this was the source that broke the story first, and then we had we'll get the Fabrizio quote in a little bit. Estevao Willian to Chelsea agreed. Fee reaches over £55 million as reported 2 days ago. Personal terms previously agreed. Another one. Amazing that that I keep doing that despite some folks weird. Okay, anyways. That's
Marshall,
totally
just
different.
quickly. Can you deep the face and then the hand? Like, what's happened there?
The Photoshop is horrible. That's a horrible Photoshop. Dude, his neck is not even cropped out here.
I think got his skin whitened, bro. What happened?
This is Thiago Silva. These motherfuckers. This is such a shit Photoshop. Oh my god.
I don't know.
It is horrible.
Bro.
I could tell this is Thiago Silva.
Has he bleached his skin or something?
It's Michael Jackson, early 90s.
Dude, his head is bigger than the body. Like, oh my god, no.
I don't know you had vitiligo, bro. What's going on, man?
Leave the Photoshop to Fabrizio, man. Jesus Christ. Anyways, Fabrizio here.
Look at that Photoshop. It's like he kicks the ball. Unbelievable.
Chelsea have sent their new forward proposal to Palmeiras for Willian Estevao, as revealed earlier this week. From initial 32 million euro plus 25 add-on euro rejected, Chelsea new bid is now 65 million euro package, add-ons included, unlike what Merlo said, that it was no objectives needed. All agreed on players' side since 2 weeks ago. And then we have here The Athletic also reporting Chelsea will pay at least...
checking the head and the hands. I'm just checking the head.
Chelsea will pay at least £29.1 million up front for Estevao Willian, with another 19.7 million in add-ons, both his current club and his new one. He will move in 2025 when he turns 18 and sign what is expected to be at least a 7-year deal. And that's the same time frame for Kendry Paez, by the way, for those curious. So, Chris, worry not, because Joe Shields was heavily involved in the Estevao deal. Just so you don't have to worry, Chris. I know you've been worried, Chris. Why? Trembling in fear because, another youngster, another this. Worry not, because Joe Shields is the one that's backing this deal, okay? I know you were worried, Chris. We'll come back to you about that.
Well, we're still signing him.
But it was Joe Shields that signed him.
But we still signed him.
Yeah.
No, Joe Shields has a good talent ID.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. That's what I'm going to... Chris, what do you think he said and what are you thinking right now? You sound confused.
No, because he said, don't worry, Joe Shields signed. I was thinking, well, we still signed him. Like, I don't want to spend 40-50 million on a kid who's going to play like 2-3 years.
But
time.
it was
Maybe
Joe Shields.
Yeah, I get like
you
Joe
see what
Shields.
I'm getting at?
Yeah, he's all right, but I mean,
he's all right.
I mean,
he only gave us the young player of the season.
Hang on.
No, okay.
Chris, Chris, are you just playing up? Do you know who Joe Shields is?
Is he manager?
Oh no,
Joking.
no way.
Joking.
Oh Jesus Christ!
You know what it is, guys.
He got me there. He got
You know
me
what
there.
it is? You know what it is with Chris? I don't know if he's joking or not.
Yes, same. I just talked to him about this.
I have to say joking straight away afterwards because you guys will believe it.
Bro, Chris, listen here.
I said this instantly.
Chris, I've said this to Chris before here, in here, and
I think I
privately
stay
together.
too serious for you guys because I'm joking.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just your voice. It's the way your voice. It's your voice, bro.
Sarcasm. Maybe because obviously I'm not on camera as well, but maybe that still works because I'll do it with a serious face probably. But
he's answering his own question.
No, but like
it's crazy.
But I have to say instantly joking because you guys are gonna actually run with it.
Yeah, you sounded serious.
It sounds serious.
The trolling was so real.
Yeah, we haven't had like 3.5 years of you like getting confused in your own sentences.
I know it's about out in the department and shit like that.
That's Chris. I soundboarded Chris. That's what it is. That's
2035 is next year, Chris. Not 2 or 3.
Okay, I just want us to, because I hear Cavachile is like around 60-70 million, right? I'd rather us go for that, but Cavachile, whatever you pronounce it. The Georgian guy from Napoli.
Kivisha.
Right, okay.
Yeah, him.
Let's continue
I'd want us to go for people like that. That's why I'm not a fan of this. But maybe that Brazilian's the next Vinny or something. I don't know.
That's what they're saying. Well, at least his friends are saying. But let's continue on.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Allison Marins. Allison Marins was also involved with the deal. For those of you who do not know, I'll show you a picture of him very shortly. I thought I had one, but
Scroll down. I need to
Estevao
see this picture. Scroll down. Okay, that
There
looks
you
like that's fine. The head and the hands look the same.
breaking Estevao Willian on Chelsea interest. Man, I'm really happy. I think they're watching because of what I'm doing in Palmeiras. Today, my mind is 100% on Palmeiras, and I'm trying to help Palmeiras as much as possible on the pitch. Chelsea's interest is a consequence of that. God willing, he's blessing me. And then this is just a picture of him. All right, here we go. Fabrizio reporting.
Whose body is that? I want to know whose body is that. Is that really his? And he's just in a blue shirt? The photoshopping?
I don't know.
Madueke.
This is probably Moises.
Madueke.
I think this is Moises Caicedo's. Why?
Nah,
What?
the
No,
next
I'm not
guy
getting into this, man. I'm looking at these bodies too much.
No, man,
Hey.
Madueke, man. I think it's probably Madueke because, like, some people just have longer necks than others. Yeah?
It's a really long neck. What the fuck, man? It's better than the last one, though. Chelsea reached verbal agreement.
Nah, that's Cole Palmer, man. That's Cole Palmer. You know what I'm saying? That's Cole Palmer right there.
I mean, to be fair, you can't see his hands this time.
This is insane. How we derailed so hard.
Yo, man.
Fucking bad Photoshop there, man.
What do you mean? That's not very well.
Chelsea reached verbal agreement to sign Brazilian gem William Estevao. Here we go. Palmeiras ready to accept final bid worth 40 million euros plus 25 million euros add-on. Personal terms agreed 10 days ago. Estevao will join CFC in 2025. Just waiting for Palmeiras president to sign it off. And last tweet I have on him is Estevao Willian will not go out on loan in 2025 and will immediately be considered a Chelsea first team player. They believe he is a super special talent.
Sorry, Marshall, I have to address crazy allegations.
Just answer him in the chat. For Christ's sake.
Yeah, go for it.
course.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep derailing. We're 2.5 hours in. We only just got to Estevao. But I mean, listen, he's a Joe Shields signing. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. You know, that could be the media doing something just to calm down the Chelsea fan. I don't know. I believe it. But listen, you know, Shields has a good talent for ID. We've seen it time and time again with Cole Palmer, Lavia. What other signing was a Shields signing or a Shields talent?
He wants Elise.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants Elise
Lavia
as
wasn't.
well.
He wanted Lavia, didn't he?
Yeah, Lavia.
Mm-hmm.
Palmer. Someone else. Gusto is?
Was it?
No,
Oh,
Gusto-
it might be.
Gusto was a Stuart sign, ironically, funnily enough.
All right, yeah.
Remember, he's the French guy. He knows the
Yeah,
talent.
it's,
I think he taps
yeah.
it time too.
So the thing about this is like they'll bump up the euros to making like 65 million euros. It's probably like something like 50.
Can I just say, why are we not getting this in pounds? Like, what's
No,
going on?
it's just to make
It's
it
always-
everything
yeah,
higher.
Makes it
That's
look
what-
bigger. Yeah,
Euros is higher.
more lucrative.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you do it in dollars, it's even bigger.
Right. Okay.
No.
Yeah, but
places
it's,
do it in dollars.
we're
ESPN
a
does it in
European
dollars.
club, so it's not.
Yeah, we're European. Why would we do it in dollars?
Why not, man? You want to make it bigger dollars?
It's not really much. Not
Why
much.
don't
I mean,
you,
not-
Fuck it.
not-
At that point, use
why don't
the
you
yen.
go? Why don't you go put your head in a loo or something while we're talking?
What's wrong with you, man?
So yes, it's probably gonna be something like 50 odd million.
I didn't
pounds.
see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I think the initial payments are somewhere between 25 to 30 million, something like that. So don't let anyone gaslight you about we paid 60 million pounds Brazilian. It's not happening. That's why I never go 65 million pounds for adverts. It's like 55 because the add-ons have been kicked in.
Wait.
How much is Super Chat Ahmed off the show? Master, you got
Oh, I've never had
What do you
a
reckon?
super chat amount.
20,
50
10,
pounds.
10.
50.
I
think
was
50.
I was gonna do a concept similar to
Why
the
don't you put a
waffle
99p
somewhere.
sticker and let's see what we feel like.
If you put in a super chat,
Oh my.
we put someone backstage for,
Yeah.
for a certain amount
Let's
of
go
Yeah, and
backstage
then
yeah?
we
Let's
can
go
start.
backstage.
We can start mentioning all their pet hates, the players they don't like, and how we can praise them. And we can just see him in the background going
Cucurella,
like that.
Sterling.
That's true.
else doesn't
But yeah,
get
so
it?
back to this guy. Listen, I don't watch the comps. I'm not. Same with Kendrick players. I'm not
I'm not
gonna.
watching either.
I'm not gonna go. Yeah, this and that. Someone said that he's a bigger talent than Endrick, or he's the best since Endrick. And I think Endrick's only been around 6 months. So what are we talking about here? Do you know what I mean? Or he's the next Neymar, he's the next Vinny Jr. Not listening to it whatsoever. This doesn't affect for anyone who even starts and goes, well, how can Chelsea spend this on a young player? Well, it doesn't. He's under 21, so it doesn't affect FFP or profit and sustainability and stuff like that. So that's why we can do that. It's a totally different budget for the younger players than what we're going for. Let's see what he can do.
That's the part that scares me, though, Surfer, is the fact that this is his first professional season breaking into Palmeiras. And
he's Brazilian. It's the same as any South American player that pops up and scores or does a few skills and something like that. People just love it. It's been like that for decades. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, grin and bear it.
There's an American guy, 14-year-old American guy that the City group got recently.
Yeah.
The one that plays for the Philadelphia Union right now or something?
Something like that. You would know, bro.
I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about.
Today, there's I saw recently in the last 2 to 3 days, like in Argentina, like the youngest player ever decided to play at the age of 14 years old.
Right.
So the point I'm trying to make is that these guys are getting younger and they're being put in the pinch at younger ages. Now, again, I think for me, at the end of the day, when it comes to Estevao, I'm not seeing much of him, similar to Paez. The problem for me when it comes to Chelsea is that, yes, these guys are young, they may be up-and-coming talents. Obviously, we've got to see how they adapt to the league, but I don't know if the Brazilian league is as physical as the EPL. You know what I'm saying to you? Can they adapt to that?
Well, we're going to see.
Question. Yeah. Like,
my thing would be, though, is that we need to, if you want to see the best of these, let's say this guy and Paez, when they arrive in 2025, then you're going to have them surrounded by a team that's got a good foundation, and is doing something, so that we can iron out and hide their mistakes or give them time to acclimatize, and that's what it is. So because you don't want them having to come in and do what Palmer did this season, and play totally out of the skin and carry the team for the huge chunk of this season. And it's just not fair. So that's why this summer it's very important to have stability, and that includes what someone says in the chat. Well, you want to keep Poch, then fine. We want to keep Poch for stability, no problem. But then surround them with the best team available. You know, bring in a striker, bring in a goalkeeper, get a centre back sorted out, get in a left back, and leave it like that. And bring in a Elise or something like that, and then you've got an established team, and let's see what they do next season. So when they arrive in 2025, they can come into a squad that's doing something or has done something, so that they can, then we're going to ease them in, whoever the man, like Pochettino match, ease them in, give them a few minutes here and there, start a Carabao Cup tie here and there, something like that. We might not see them fully grow that season, but we're going to see like signs and go, I can see why they've got this guy. Do you know what I mean? And then move forward from there. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hopefully do this.
You better than Bradley Barcola. That's what I want to know.
Bradley Barbacoa.
Yeah, but Coca-Cola, whatever his name is.
Bradley Barcola. Bradley Barcola Nation. Listen, the stocks are still in. That's what I have to say. But in regards to obviously the Pies and Estevao, I don't know when they both turn. Obviously 18, kind of a crazy way to say
25. Next year. 2025.
That's why they can't.
2025, but like when 2025 is it January?
Well, the summer. The
summer.
Reason they won't come till the summer 2025 is because they're not 18 until then.
All right,
so.
But again, I just think hopefully these guys, they're wonder kids. Let's hope these. What they say about wonder kids, man. Sometimes they don't always produce. You know what I mean? But let's hope they produce, man. That's the main thing for us, man.
Here's the thing with Tayo's thing. Tayo, this is happening with all clubs now. Look how much Endrick cost Real Madrid. Okay, Endrick cost Real Madrid £60 million. Okay, cost them £60 million. You've got to get out of this pre-2017 transfer thing. As soon as that Neymar deal happened, it destroyed the transfer market. So people are going to be paying big money for talents like that. That's what it is. It's a gamble. So unfortunately, that's what it is. Don't worry about it. You're not worrying about how much you pay for Palmer now, right? Because I'm sure everyone at the start was going 45 million for Palmer, stuff like that. Let's just see what this kid can do. He's not going to arrive till next year, and let's focus on and Amarin. No one cared about Amarin's shit. Okay, you know what I mean? I just let's just focus on actual transfers that are going to take place this summer. And it's inflation as well. Staffy's right, it's inflation.
100%.
The Neymar.
And we're Chelsea. Do you think this is Brighton that they would offer? If this was Brighton interested in him or someone else, do you think they'd be paying that much? No. Because Chelsea are interested. Let's be fair. It's a reputation that if Man City were in for him or Arsenal or Man United or Liverpool, they'd be paying the same. They'd be paying the same.
I just want to again.
Close it off, Simon, because I want to go to the next topics.
Yeah, of course, bro. I just wanted to say, I think people are forgetting now, just to get, a good, solid average player is costing you 60 to 70 million pounds. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So the problem, and that's like a middle-aged guy, maybe in his mid-20s, late 20s, maybe starting to reach the peak of his powers and stuff like that. That's costing you 80, 90, 100 million. Yeah. If you're a football club, why would you not decide, okay, let me get these guys before they reach that, and let them grow at my football club, give them these long contracts, and then bang. And that saves you more money over time, realistically speaking. And then even if you're a smarter club, you use the Red Bull model as well to then sell them off afterwards if you feel like they're not going to fit the team either. So for me, it makes so much more sense as to why a lot of these clubs are being run the way they've been run.
When Brighton go for a payout, they're not going to be charged like we're going to be charged. Why don't people get that? Even if we negotiate down, we're still going to have to pay more because we're Chelsea. It's just a fact of life.
Just the way it is.
Caicedo was 4 million. If we went for Caicedo right now, we'd be paying something like 35 million for him.
Exactly.
The guarantee.
Probably.
You can't use Brighton and us at the same. It's just not happening. Okay?
That's true.
Exactly. People need to realize, if I was to go to Ecuador today, and I'm a Chelsea representative, and I say I'm from Chelsea, I want one of your players.
We're fucked.
This is the guy, right? They know who Chelsea are, guys. They know who Chelsea are, right? I'm sorry to tell you, not everyone around the world knows who Brighton is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
why Real Madrid paid a premium for Endrick.
How much do you pay for players? Does anyone know?
I think it was like 40 million or 50, something like that. It was something like that, bro. Yeah.
Here's a conversation. I walk in. Who are you here for? I'm here for Estevao Willian. Okay. Who do you represent? Well, I represent an English club. Okay, but which English club do you represent? Chelsea. And then the mind goes, I'm just adding another 20 million onto the price tag. He doesn't say it out loud, but he just adds another 20 million, 25 onto that. And also, you factor in like the packages. You factor in like all the add-ons because they factor in the add-ons because they think Chelsea are going to do something, right? They're not going to factor in add-ons for Brighton. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to factor in add-ons when they sign Caicedo. If he gets to a Champions League. No, of course not. It's going to be straight up cash. With us, it's always going to be add-ons. If he does this, if he reaches this, if he plays this, if he does that.
Yeah.
Was he 20 million euros? Okay, great.
Yeah.
See, if he bangs, that's 20 million. If it's 20 million euros, I'll have to take your word for it, Craig. I'm not bothering going to.
No, he's right. I was going to.
20 million. Okay, so if he bangs, what's anyone going to say? If this kid is as good as they say he is, or they feel he is, and he hits the ground running, maybe it takes him a while, but he finally hits the ground running. No one's going to talk about price.
Exactly.
My problem is that I don't want to be talking about this as one of the biggest deals this summer for us. I need it to be, like I said the other day, and we got that Brazilian kid. Not, so we signed him, and the Brazilian kid, and no one else. You know what I mean?
All right. So
now you're getting me, bro. Like, how much did Real Madrid pay for Endrick? I'm trying to move on, but now Tyre's got me. Exactly. So it happens.
Victor Roque for Barca, I'm pretty sure paid either it was 40. I'm pretty sure it was 40 or 50 million.
Exactly. So stop pretending, dude. You stop living in your little Chelsea bubble. Expand your horizons. Do more research.
Bayern Munich is a Ponzi scheme. All right, it's a Ponzi scheme. Bayern Munich. They don't have their own. They very rarely bring their own talents through.
How much did they even pay for Musiala
as a youth? They used the Bundesliga as a youth talent, as a youth.
Barca paid 60 million for Victor Roque, and there's now people getting angry at Barcelona. And
how much did City pay for Savio? Can you have a look?
30 million for Savio. It was 30 million.
Exactly, 30 million.
From Girona, they brought 30 million from
So
Girona.
again, this all just proves debunks
He's
your
gonna
point.
hit. Do you know what I mean?
Liverpool
Exactly,
don't
so-
even buy. I'm sorry to tell you, bro. Liverpool's academy, from what I know and from what I remember, they don't even buy those guys like that. They're usually a bit more homegrown. They're actually homegrown more.
When's the last
Also-
time you heard like they didn't buy? When's the last time you didn't know of? You heard Liverpool buying a South American player or anything like that for anything? They don't do it. So you can't even
they
bring them
don't.
up.
They're literally
So
trying
let's-
to catch up right now, by the way. Liverpool are literally now trying to catch up to the multi-club model with under the new guy. I don't know if you've been seeing those
We'll
reports.
see.
Yeah, man.
Time will tell.
See,
But,
right?
all right, let's move on, boys, because we have a few more topics I'm trying to hit before we end the show, and we're almost at the 3 hour mark.
4 hours.
Yeah,
No, you
let's not
dare
do
put
that,
that
no.
there.
Nope. All right. Even I have to put my foot down to that. All right. So next topic that I wanted to bring up is apparently we're rehashing talks about Manuel Ugarte. This is going to be interesting. So let's. It's not a tier 1 source, but it is Graham Bailey, who we've heard of before. Exclusive: Chelsea are keeping tabs on Manuel Ugarte's situation at Paris Saint-Germain as they get ready for Conor Gallagher to leave, which we will get into the Conor Gallagher departure very shortly. But are you guys? I mean, are you convinced? Or is anyone here still on the "we wish we could have gotten Ugarte" train?
I gotta be honest with you. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't know this guy before even we went for him, so I gotta be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
You mean you don't watch Sporting?
no. Funny enough, I don't watch Sporting. Yeah, funny enough like that. And like if you're going to get a young midfielder from PSG, then you get Zaire Emery. Do you know what I mean? You don't get Ugarte. But he's no, I don't think we'll. I don't think we'll go for him. We're gonna get Lavia fit and stuff like that. I don't think we need to do a lot. If the injuries don't reoccur, I don't think we need to do a lot in midfield.
No.
If I'm being honest with you, this season.
I mean, Andrew, like you've got Ukachuku as well, and we've got Santos maybe for next season. Who knows? And
No, Santos is apparently planned to go to Strasbourg again.
Maybe Santos goes, but we've got Gallagher.
We'll discuss that right after this.
Who knows where Gallagher goes next season? We have a lot of midfielders, and we have 2 main stars, of course, like Caicedo and Enzo. And yeah, hopefully Lavia can play more 37 minutes next season.
Agreed.
You know what it is, man. I've watched Ugarte play in Liga. He was getting bitched, man. If he got handled there, he's not handling it in the EPL, bro. They were making a thing to target him. By the way, don't even target Zaire Emery or even what's it called the other small guy Vitinha. They were just targeting him when the moment he got the ball. The press starts of him, bang, literally. So yeah, it was bad, man. That's why Fabio Silva's been playing a lot more often for them, and the other guy they brought from Valencia.
Wait, you mean Fabian Ruiz, right?
Fabian Ruiz, not Fabio Silva, Fabian Ruiz. And
Honestly, that squad
and Carlos.
That PSG squad absolutely reeks.
They actually have good attackers, man. I really think Balcon is a great player, man. He's just that, apparently he decided to play Dembele over him, and Dembele's been nothing but ass cheeks. Literally, that's what it is.
I mean, you say they have a good attack. What are we saying about their strikers? I don't rate Muani and Ramos.
You know where it is, man. Conan Muani, he's a one-season wonder. That's just my personal opinion on him, But like the other guy, Conca Ramos, I kind of feel sorry for him because they weren't really creating for him. That's the problem, bro. Like Mbappe would do the little hezzy tween and then try to go for the shot. Dembele was kind of like always looking for Mbappe, or it was himself. So it wasn't really that helpful for him.
I feel like Mbappe had more chances when I watched him against Dortmund and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's try to focus on Ugarte. I think we have what we have, and actually this gives me an opportunity to transition into the next topic, which is Santos essentially going on another loan potentially. Let's bring this up. So, you guys can't see it. Dang it. Okay. There's a video of him and Angelo. Andre Santos' English is actually pretty good. So we have here, this is absolutely beautiful to watch, huh, bruh? Bruh. Angelo Gabriel congratulating Andre Santos. Don't know if it's me, but this Angelo guy looks like Neymar. Okay. Well, Andre Santos speaking and thanking his parents and family and the fans for the support that he's gotten this season. It has been a rough loan season for him. The Nottingham Forest loan did not work out, which... God, I do not understand. Thank God Steve Cooper got sacked, because that should have been one of the things. Like, why didn't you use Angelo? Look at what he's doing at Strasbourg. He's killing it at Strasbourg. He actually scored the game-winning goal for them in the last game of the season, right? But yeah, we can continue.
No, they have one more game left, but it was the local derby. They
gotcha. See, that's a big deal. So Chelsea are very happy with Andre Santos' development as he scored key goal in injury time versus Metz. He's also been voted Player of the Month for April after his performances at Strasbourg. New loan to the Blue Club will be discussed with player and agent soon. And listen, whether he goes out on loan or he stays with the team, I think these are both good options for him. Either he stays in Strasbourg another season or he comes to Chelsea and we start integrating him to the first team, because I think this guy's a really good player now. And I'm seeing it more and more with the more he's developing. One more tweet on him is Strasbourg want to keep Andre Santos on loan next season. Thoughts?
I think he definitely probably need another loan because, like you said, last season was kind of a mess up. Like when we loaned him to Nottingham Forest, he didn't get a full loan season. I did actually like the look of him in pre-season. He actually looked like a decent midfielder, talented and stuff like that. He looks he could be like Chelsea's number 3, like, you know, competition for Caicedo and Enzo. He looks like he could be that. But another loan won't hurt because our squad is pretty full up in the midfield because like Caicedo and Enzo, obviously Ugarte is back up, and Lavia. We don't know what's happening with Lavia. If say Lavia gets injured for another season, then surely Santos takes that spot from Lavia, really, doesn't he? For the season after that, sorry. So yeah, I do actually have a bit of hope for this young player. Actually, I think he sounds pretty good by the sounds of it, and he like I said, he got Player of the Month last month, right? Yeah. So that's quite good. I don't know how old is he? 19. He's quite young.
I'll look it up right now. Andre Santos.
Yeah. I don't know. Another loan.
20 years old.
20.
He just turned 20.
Okay. Yeah, like another loan. When he comes to Chelsea, 22, 21, he might be ready. He might be ready then. There's no rush.
Ahmed, your thoughts on Santos? You've probably seen him more than all of us.
He's been pretty decent, I would say. You know, he's really gelled off the young players at the club. I think they've been doing a great job, honestly. So at the end of the day, big ups to him, man.
Oliver, what are your thoughts on Santos? Do you think would you rather actually let me ask you this? Would you rather keep him at Strasbourg for another season, or would you rather bring him to Chelsea next season?
Depends on who our midfield options are going into next season. Because I do think he is definitely a player that's capable of coming into our first team and doing something as a squad player or what have you. But if you can get someone better, then fine, he can go out on loan. It's certainly not going to hurt him. He can continue his continuity at Strasbourg, start to get more used to that, develop his game even more, a bit more out of the spotlight compared to at Chelsea. But listen, if we don't get anyone better, then by all means, he can come back. Like I said, I think he's capable. He can play as a 6 and an 8, so there's versatility there. And he's shown his abilities when he's had minutes. So I have full confidence in him no matter what he does, whether it be at Chelsea or online.
Andrew, what are your thoughts on Santos? You give him another loan to Strasbourg with Angelo, or what do you do with Angelo? And would you rather keep him at Chelsea?
I'll keep him. He can do Gallagher's job.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
No, he's
and
not.
He's got more techers. So
that is fine. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you're gonna get a club that's not named Nottingham Forest, that's actually gonna give him regular football that actually needs a CDM, much like
That's
how we
right.
did. No. Much like how we were able to get one in the championship for Saturday with Leicester. It's gonna kind of like start him as regularly as possible in the EPL. I'm saying specifically in the English Premier League.
Okay.
That might be the one you need to do.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you don't do that.
I'm listening, bro.
We don't do that because I don't think we're going to go in for another midfielder this summer. I don't think we are. I also think if one's going out on loan, I said Ugarte right on loan to get minutes. And you bring this guy, like I said, you sell Gallagher. This guy can do. In my opinion, I think this guy can do what Gallagher does. If you're going to loan him, on the other hand, then you make it strictly clear with whoever you're loaning him to. We are loaning you this player under the proviso that means you're not going to be buying any like 4 other midfielders like Forest did. Yeah? And you're going to play him. You're going to give him guaranteed minutes, or you will never, ever get a loan from us again like we did under Roman. We had a little black book. Whoever didn't work out because they didn't play him and stuff like that, they never got loaned to again. Yeah? Or you loaned to Strasbourg again, whatever, something like that. Do you know what I mean? But that's the only thing, because like I said, I don't think our midfield, if everyone recovers, Lavia, Enzo, and that recover and stuff like that. You got Caicedo there, who, touch wood, hasn't got really injured this season at all, ever present. So, you know, I wouldn't loan him, but I wouldn't be surprised. So.
All right, fair enough. Let's you guys did just mention it, and I do want to bring this into the light as well. Is we were talking about Conor Gallagher, and there's potential that there are some strong links for Conor Gallagher going on at this very moment. So let's bring this into the next topic, which we have here from Matt Law starting us off. There has been no progress between Chelsea and Conor Gallagher over the new contract, which has left the door open for clubs to make offers for him when the transfer window reopens. Conor Gallagher is a name of interest to Newcastle, but the challenge is going to be meeting Chelsea's $50 million plus asking price. Then we have here Aston Villa also are interested in signing Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher, with midfield possibly forming part of make-weight deal for John Duran. There's understood to be a good relationship at board level between both clubs. Conor Gallagher is not thought to be in a hurry to make a decision about his future. He is not ruled out staying at Stamford Bridge and is likely to be pushed into any move, and is unlikely to be pushed into any move he is unsure about. And then we have here Ange Postecoglou is understood himself to be a big admirer of Conor Gallagher, and Tottenham still hold strong interest in him. And lastly, it is unclear whether Chelsea retain an interest in John Duran, but it is highly unlikely they would consider any sort of swap deal for academy product Gallagher, given his sale would count as 100% profit in terms of profitability and sustainability rules. So I think Matt Law is right on this last one. I think John Duran has turned a few heads in recent days because of his cameo appearance the last Aston Villa game against Liverpool. However, I think there needs to be a bigger pool to really see if this player is really worth the hype. And we were linked to this guy earlier before entertaining this idea of maybe him and Gallagher, being a swap deal, if even a swap deal. And then the Tottenham links, which we've heard since at least January, potentially even, I think we heard Tottenham links in the summer. But again, where I stand with Conor Gallagher is that in a fully fit team, I think he's a squad player. The good thing about Gallagher this season is he's been fit, right? And as a result of being fit, he's been able to play games. He's been available. And when he's available, I would argue he's a better captain than Reece. It's just unfortunate how the cookie crumbles. And not to bash on Gallagher. He's had moments where we've seen his leadership step up and he's doing good. But there could be better leaders than him, I'm sure. I think he's had a better season than last season. I think he's had a good season overall. I wouldn't mind keeping him, but if we do get over £50 million for him, then I'm more in favor of that as well. So I really don't have a strong tie to Conor. But if Poch wants him, then we should probably keep him if Poch were to be here next season. That's where I stand with Conor Gallagher.
He's not staying unless he signs a new contract. That's the whole point. They are not going to allow him to stay. Even if he doesn't sign it, there'll be something. I wouldn't put it past anything. There'll be stories of that come out that he's not playing for us until he signs a new contract again, even if Poch wants to pick him. And I would understand that because, like, why should we start you when when you can't sign a contract? Now it works both ways in the fact that we're obviously offering something that he's on appeal with. Obviously, it's probably to do with wages. And they cannot force him. They can force him out. They can force him out by insisting that he doesn't get picked. Cool. That he trains alone. He trains with the under whatever, something like that. He doesn't get paid. Doesn't play for us again. They can force him out. The thing I don't get is that why people are shocked. I'm trying to sell him since January 2023. Yeah. So I just don't know why anyone's shocked. And there's no. We've offered a contract. We're not going to go. They're not going to go above that. He wants certain wages. They're not going to hit that. He wants like that at least 150. They're not going to pay him 150. You know what I mean? They don't deem him to be 150 grand a week player, and I understand that. I don't think he's 100. Whatever the money he wants, he's worth that. But you ask, and I have no problem with him saying that. So what if he doesn't get picked? Welcome to Gallagher's number to this. You can appeal to that. Say, okay, unless you sign a new contract, then you're risking a World Cup place in 2026, right?
It's not Chelsea.
No, hang on, no, because he can leave in 2025, so it doesn't even matter. No, but I'm just saying this. You know, if you don't sign a new contract, then you're not going to get picked. Don't care who the manager likes you or not. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you what, the advantage as well is that this whole situation is actually more in our favour than we initially realised. Because I know in a previous show we talked about the fact that we don't actually have to make our sales by June the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
all summer we don't.
Yeah. So the whole rule, because Southgate has his rules on, you can't do transfer business while you're at my England camp. So that doesn't apply. That doesn't apply. Well, no, it does apply, but we don't have to rush.
We're not in a rush. We're in a rush.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're not.
We can go to the last day of the transfer window with this guy. He could start for us next season, and we could sell him in the same window.
Yeah. So
play like that if you want to. Same with Chalobah. Although Chalobah's signing a new contract, so not last year. So what I'm saying is, they've said they had it with. Remember when all the thing before he was sold? You can't force Mount out. He's never going to be sold. He's going to walk away on a free. There'll be someone on there. Someone will put that money up for him. 50 million. Whether it's straight up a price of 50 million or it's 45 plus 5 or 45 plus 10 or something like that. Achievable goals. Something like that. They will sell him. They accepted a £40 million bid from Everton.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They want £15 million more because he's played well this season. He has played well this season, so his price has gone up a bit.
Yep.
But there's negotiation, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
What are you going to say, Chris?
He is definitely worth 40 and upwards. You can't go lower than that, even on 1 year. See, I'm looking at 1 year deals, so maybe clubs will say, all right, well, how about 40 to 45 million? And I think Chelsea accept that as well. I know they're asking 50 million, but like, I'm not sure what clubs would want. Like, okay, I think Tottenham would want him, maybe Liverpool. I don't know. Liverpool might want him, not Man United probably.
I don't know. I think they're moving. I don't know. Someone have to remind me what a slot midfield does. I don't know.
Oh, Scott! No, he's better than Scott McTominay. He's actually better.
No, he's saying what does a slot midfield do?
Slot midfield.
Misheard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I don't remember. I know he plays a back four. I just don't know.
Spurs are not a lower club.
Midfield setup, yeah.
We won't see Spurs as a lower club. They're going to be in Europe the same as us.
Yeah.
So and they're in London, so he doesn't really have to do much in terms of moving.
I just think Andrew. I just genuinely think he's a Chelsea boy. And I think he's young, so I think he's gonna let his ego get in the way of that. So I think he's rather go for like a Crystal Palace or
No. I really don't think that. I really don't think that matters anymore. especially if your own club comes into it and they're not willing to pay you what you think you're worth. Then why would you stay? Why would you then be loyal to the club and go, well, actually, you know what? They're not loyal to me. So why does it care where I go? I have to look after my own
Frank
career.
Lampard still loves Chelsea, even though we
He
got
scored
rid of
against
him as a player.
No, he should have actually. He should have declared himself unfit for that game. That's what he should have done.
Yeah.
Gallagher's not Gallagher for me. I don't care what Gallagher does. He's not done anything for me to go, oh man,
shit.
I can't wait. Cheers, cheers.
Big up, Jacob. Thank you for the raid. Big up to everyone coming here from the United Spurs of America. Funny enough, we're just talking about Conor Gallagher going to Spurs.
Yeah.
We'll continue that topic, but before we do, smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. If you just joined us from either the Lewis raid or the United Spurs of America raid, I am Marshalldbdx, the host of Casually FC, and you're watching the Casually Chelsea show. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe if you're new here. Helps us out tremendously. We're on our way to 3K. Oliver, you were going to say something important.
Sorry, can I just say something?
Go ahead.
In there, Spurs no way. Can I ask the reason? Is it because you think Spurs is a rival, whatever? But would you then would you then put up the same bit of no way he's Spurs if we'd signed Harry Kane or some, you know what I mean, or Van der Ven or something like that? Would you go? No, he played for Spurs. It won't work. No.
Don't you think that's a little different though? Because
because they're good players. That's the difference. Is that what we're doing?
part of that is that I think part of it with Harry Kane is more like, dude, I see no future with Tottenham where I win a trophy. Whereas at Chelsea, you're like, I could see something.
You put Tyro's latest comment up for me, please.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Academy or proper Chelsea. Okay.
Proper Chelsea.
Okay, so here's the thing. John Terry loved his on the pitch stuff. Off the pitch is totally different. Reece James, I'm a massive fan of. He's the best right back. For me, he's the best right back in the world when he's fit and anything like that, but it doesn't happen, So that's what it is. Proper Chelsea, I don't like proper Chelsea because it doesn't mean anything. Proper Chelsea doesn't mean anything. It was a term that was brought up in 2021. No one heard of proper Chelsea.
Lies and blasphemy.
And
John Terry brought up in his
reason I don't like proper Chelsea. Reason why you proper Chelsea like someone like Alfie Gilchrist is because you probably look like him with a shaven head. That's why you were like him later and stuff like that. Proper Chelsea. I don't know what proper Chelsea means. You know what I mean? I don't really care. I decided to think, that new thing where, but he supports this club. I couldn't give a rat's ass whether he supports Chelsea or not. If he bangs in the goals or saves them or defends them or something like that. John Terry had the minerals, proper Chelsea. Fine, whatever. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. It was Jesus.
Fucking minerals, bruv.
Minerals, mate. I'll apologize if Gallagher joins Spurs. No, Vic, you never have to apologise, mate. No, it's not about apologies. I don't listen. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, I think fair to Conor Gallagher. I think he's like you said, Marshall. Great squad option. Great squad option to bring on when you're like winning by the odd goal or something. Get someone 15 minutes on fresh legs, hunt them down, something like that. Or when you're 2-0 up, secure the game, 15 minutes left to go, hunt them down, do that. Brilliant option. If he signs a new contract, I won't be complaining about it whatsoever.
That was supposed to be in Nkunku this season.
Right.
What Gallagher is doing was supposed to be in Nkunku.
Yeah. And like I said, I think Chukwuemeka, if he's fit, can do that role. And I think Andre Santos can do that role. The thing about Gallagher is he doesn't have his attributes that people that really like Gallagher can do. I can find in about 400 other players, right? There's nothing outstanding about him, okay? Yeah, it's good. It's like a threat. He'll never smash through that glass ceiling, yeah? He'll never be that player. And some players are fine with that, and I'm fine with some players like that. It's just...
It's the creative side of it that's lackluster, especially from a number 10 position.
You're right, Joel. You are right, and that's why I don't like proper Chelsea. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a majority. That's a big bulk of it. Not all of them, but a giant bulk of it. That's what it is. But yeah. But JT said JT would say proper Chelsea. He's not going to go. Yeah, he's shit. You know what I mean? He's not going to say that.
He said he's proper Chelsea. That's what he said.
Yeah, proper Chelsea. That's fine. He knows the lingo. I don't care. It's all good. JT likes them. You know what? I won't take JT's words for it because his words, you know, he's used a lot of horrible words on the pitch, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So,
But question
you know,
though for you guys, I genuinely, I don't mean this in a because I know I say this to rival Spurs fans and they think I'm trolling, but I genuinely mean it. I think Conor Gallagher would be a good fit for Ange Postecoglou's system.
Oh, I do as well. I can see. And by the way,
I almost don't want to give it to him, you know.
By the way, Pepe Sarr can do what Conor Gallagher does. I don't see Pepe Sarr getting linked. Do you know what I mean? So let's not do this. Conor Gallagher, maybe I 400 players. Okay, 300 players. I'll knock 100 off. There you go. Mm-hmm. There's nothing outstanding that he does that I go, wow. Do you know what I mean? That goal against Villa was very good. Yeah. I'm not expecting him to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, like we went over this already. In a completely fit team, he's a good squad option.
Yeah.
I really don't think he should be playing ahead of Nkunku if Nkunku is fit, because Nkunku can do the right thing. And yes, I understand people see with their eyes, and I see it too. And I remember in the summer, you know, I was partially drunk, but when I did the stream, when I was reacting to preseason, and you had asked, I told you I understand why the manager picks Conor Gallagher. It's because when you see it on the pitch, like, the guy really does make an effort. But I think with experience and time, Nkunku can do what Gallagher did, but make it look a little less effortless because he knows where to position. He knows where to run.
Let me do two things. Solomon's answered this question. You're absolutely right, Solomon. That's why he stayed. He didn't stay for the love of Liverpool. He stayed because his family got
win. Just win every time.
And second, if everyone stays fit, if you play a pivot of Lavia and Caicedo, why can't Caicedo do Gallagher's job? And it can do it better. Do you understand what I'm saying? Caicedo's doing a job which is really not his number one job. He can do that Gallagher role. Yeah? Mm-hmm. He can do that Gallagher role. And he got Santos there as well. Or Lavia might do that role. We have no
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Now I know you're trolling, Tyre. Now I know you are trolling, bro. That is the most trollingest comment I've ever seen in my life. That is just horrendous. That is like when Tuchel said Gallagher had Kante traits. You remember that?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Unless he's drinking a few tonight.
We didn't get a midfielder that summer until right at the end when we signed what's his face on loan, Sakaria. It's because Gallagher, because Tuchel in the press conference said, "Yeah, Gallagher's like, you know, he's got some traits like Kante and stuff." Because people were doing, well, what's going to happen? Because Kante and Kovacic always get injured in the season, but now we've got Gallagher. No, for me that's not on Gallagher. That's on Tuchel. Tuchel was the one who started the thing against Gallagher, not Gallagher himself. It was Tuchel. That was Tuchel's fault. He said, that's why I always say Tuchel's got no respect for midfielders. No respect for midfielders whatsoever.
Yeah,
none.
To an
He
extent.
thinks midfielders are worthless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pick up Scott. Scott
I'm
joined in.
I'm surprised you're still live, I'll be real.
Yeah, no, I am too. But you know, things happen. Topics go
Chris,
longer than expected.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Chris is always the
What was he
problem.
talking about this time?
He's just joking. It was mostly Ahmed.
He was talking about the Brazilian kid, how much he's watched him every single game.
Shut up.
Am I the only one who really is not phased?
Yeah, I don't care.
We're not going to see this.
I don't
We're
care.
not going to see this dude till earliest 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah.
Listen, I think the recruitment's doing just fine. We'll with the players. We'll see. Time will tell. And listen, I mean, you got to take risks in this day and age, anyways. And we're just talking about the inflation prices as well. Like, players are getting more and more expensive. You know, the cheapest players are usually going to be the ones that are the youngest or the ones that are on the way out the door. So it's like you can't get a decent player for 60 mil anymore. Like, it's not going to happen.
And Maru in the chat, if that's addressed to me, I did say the word if. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they stay fit. Yeah? If.
But let's before we continue and wrap up the show, because we are close to the end. 167 of you guys are here. Be sure to smash the like button. I think that's the maybe it's the most viewers we've had ever. I don't know if it is, actually. We may have had more at some point during the chance window.
We did
last
have a
season,
stream
but-
that went to 10,000 live.
Yeah, that was a long.
Yeah, that was when we won the Champions League.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good old days. The good old days. Damn. That was insane. But no, big up to everyone who's watching. Please smash the like button because it does help us out with the channel growth. Also, big up to everyone who was just subscribed. Be sure to keep subscribing if you are new. It helps us out tremendously with growth as well. Okay, final topic of today's show. I promise.
You each have an hour to give your answer.
Jesus Christ, I hope not. Boehly came out with some more comments, and this is actually interesting. Now, it's not as vague as the previous Forbes interview. There's actually some stuff to pick out here, and I'm very interested and curious to see what you guys think and how this changes possibly your view on the ownership. But let's continue, all right? Let's start off with this first one here. So Todd Boehly via the Qatar Economic Forum on Chelsea's project. The number one thing is you have got to be patient. You are putting something together and expecting it to come together really quickly, but the reality is anything really good takes a little bit of time. Patience as was always a thought for us. When we bought the Dodgers in 2013, we started 15 and 25. Which is not a good record, by the way. 15 wins, 25 losses. But we kind of just kept sticking to the plan because we believed that it was right. And we went through a similar thing with Chelsea. You have to have the resolve to not hear all the noise around you and remain committed to the plan. And since Boxing Day, we are the fourth best team in the Premier League when you look at what is going on it now. It feels better and better. Is that true? And since Boxing Day, we are the fourth best team in the Premier League. When you look at what is going on it now, it feels. Yep, Boehly and Poch have. That's
good. Just those pesky 4 months before that was a trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, it's such a shame that the season doesn't start the 26th.
I know. Just like the people saying, Poch is going to turn it around. Just keep watching. It's a shame the game isn't based off the last 5 games.
What about last season?
Just an extended pre-season, weren't they?
Last season has to do with Poch. Come on.
Shame we don't have a summer league as opposed to.
I find those comments bullshit because wasn't he the guy saying we should be getting top 4 and stuff like that? They've been looking at top 4, this, that, that, and now they're saying it's a process of like, don't expect top 4. It feels like the same thing they said. Well, Poch has said like, oh, we should be getting top 4 and then changing his plan to top 6. I think it's just going off the flow, man. Like whatever.
I agree. Let's continue on. His comments on financial fair play. We have an asset in Chelsea that is in high demand, and we can give experiences you can't buy anywhere else. So the question is, how can we position those opportunities to really grow revenue in a world where FFP is becoming a much more detailed conversation? And it's something the Premier League is committed to in order to have more balanced competitive slate. Rule changes are coming. Rule changes are coming. You are seeing a lot of debate about that percentage of revenue can be spent on the team. It's likely to be voted on in the June EPL meeting and finalized. And there's another concept called anchoring, where the maximum wages for a team can only be a certain multiple of the smallest amount of media money that goes to the 20th place team. So I guess this is him pretty much confirming that those rule changes are going to happen and be voted on with the spending. I forgot how it was worded, but having a spending cap of the maximum wages of the smallest team, something like that. I may have just butchered that.
Of the income of the smallest.
Yeah, so something like that. So I guess he's confirming that this is likely to happen. Let's continue on. Todd Boehly says Chelsea's big spending is an investment, not an expense. What we are spending, we are investing, and those players continue to hold their value. So what we are thinking of is what does it cost to finance a portfolio of players. Some will go up and some will go down in value. But I argue the investment made at Chelsea have held their value. We are not spending the money. We are investing the money. So when we buy, we are just thinking about the cost of carry. Okay, fair enough. And then on Chelsea's goals, winning is clearly the most important thing. We are focused on winning. The second thing is having what we think is a really young and exciting team that will be together for a long time. If you look at franchises that dominate for a long time, they have real stability in the team, front office, and coaching staff. So to be able to lay down the groundwork and start with stability in the team and having a young squad with longer than average contracts is a good start. And the reality is, in European football, a 7-year contract is really a 5-year contract because you are never going to let a contract expire to the last year. You're either going to extend the contract or see what's best for the player and the club. I think this is a really valid point, actually. Most teams usually sell on a player once they're on around a 2-year to the end of the contract mark. Going on, 2 more comments here. Todd Volley on Chelsea Stadium's plan. Long term, we are working on a stadium plan. We have a really unique spot in London. So many people can come to a Chelsea game, and we are basically in the heart of West London. But we only have a stadium that seats about 40,000. To update the quality and size of the stadium, it is a priority for us over the next decade. Plans have already started, but you have to have a lot of conversations with a lot of constituents because you are in the middle of London. The good news is we're in the middle of London, but the bad news is we're in the middle of London. And then lastly here, Boehly, the chairman, has recently started to talk about the importance of patience, but Egbali is believed to be highly influential. There is a lot of chatter, and any decision to change manager would need to be signed off by Boehly and Clearlake. Listen, a lot of good stuff. Maybe it's a lot of fluff. Maybe it's a lot of PR. But if it's genuine, and if we're gonna go on the notion that this is genuine, I think a lot of what he's saying is valid. I think a lot of what he's saying is true. Yes, the youth model hasn't necessarily bared a lot of fruit right now. But if the idea behind the youth model is to bring more stability, have a team grow up together, mature together, and be used to, playing with one another, then I'm hoping that this youth model, slows down a little bit going forward. I feel like we stocked up now, and going forward, maybe, 2 or 3 signings every summer or something to just keep it fresh. And keep that cycle going and see how it works out for us. Because if this is what's helping us with financial fair play, so on and so forth, then, I'm not too opposed to it. I think he's right when saying that these players will hold their value. And in the long run, you either sell them or they stay as a first-team player. Either way, it's a win-win in that scenario. I mean, I don't know if you guys think differently. I don't know if there's anything that, kind of struck you as... all right, fuck that. But, I mean, thoughts?
I mean, the stadium thing, like you said about stadium, I don't know about it because they could be talking about this for the next 5 years and not much has happened. I'm not blaming the ownership, by the way, on the stadium because if you want to upgrade the stadium, it's a lot of money just for an extra 15,000 seats, and then you can't upgrade it after that. And you can't move the stadium because the pitch owners and all that don't want us to move to a bigger location to make the stadium to an 80k potential stadium. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen in Stamford Bridge. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 8 years it's still the same stadium, still the same size, and this, that, the other. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I think it's just going to stick that way until I don't know when. Because we've been talking about this for 2 years now? These plans and everything. I get it, plans do take time, but it doesn't feel like there's any progress on the talks, right? It still seems the same type of talks for the last 2 years. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that. That's one of them sticky situations where we just we're fucked with the stadium, honestly. We're not gonna get a bigger stadium.
So that's on the stadium, and I get that. What do you think on the youth model and how because I remember earlier, I know Scott was touting it, I was touting it, I think even Surfer, and actually pretty much most of us were touting it, is what is the plan with all these youth players? Based on what he just said recently, do you think if it kind of fleshes out more of what the plan is? What do you think about that?
Well, I think the plan will be obviously using some of the youth players, for the future, but also selling some of the players. I think I don't know what's going to happen with Santos and all these other kids, Washington, and I don't know, Cassidy. I don't see a future at Cassidy. I think we're just going to move him on, by the way. He's going to be one of those players definitely moved on. I just have a gut feeling. So I think it's try and make profit off the players because I'm not sure how much we paid for Cassidy, but we'll probably try and make a little bit of a profit, 5-10 million. I think it's profit and see who's good enough to stay at Chelsea.
Cassidy will be used for the Boston deal.
Pardon?
Cassidy will probably,
yeah. That's what I mean. Stuff like that. It can be that little wedge between getting a player. But Yeah, it's always been kind of that thing anyway with like any club or even with Roman. Like we buy young players here and there anyway and sell it like the youth academy. So it's just one of them. I think that's how you guys see it as well, kind of. So yeah, I'm not really bothered about the youth like going or staying because I don't get any attachment to the youth unless I see how much they play and I feel like they can help the team. But yeah, that's what I think about the youth anyway.
Scott, I mean, you just tuned in a little late, and obviously towards the end you were probably busy. But let me ask you this: what do you feel about this quote right here? So, to be able to lay the groundwork and start with stability in the team, having a young squad with longer than average contract is a good start. So, I guess the way I'm interpreting this is, how do you feel about the idea of having a young team and building a squad that is going to mature and go into their contracts together, kind of establishing some type of stability?
He's right in this day and age of football. Like that's pretty much what Arsenal did.
Yeah.
Like they went a lot younger with their players. They built that foundation and then they kind of added little pieces here and there. That's kind of what you have to do in this day and age with the way things are, because we're seeing with City that it's so difficult to win the trophy, like win the league with how it currently is, just because they are by far and away the best team. Like even though it's coming down to the wire on this final day, like most of us expect City to win. And I think most people expect City to win at the start. But I think this is the way teams are going to go. I think this is the way that Liverpool's going to go this summer. I think it's the way that United will go this summer. Because what you're basically trying to do at this point with some of these teams is create a core of players where once Pep leaves, you've got a core of players where you might need to add one or two more pieces, but then that team is ready as long as the manager is in place and that it's the right manager. That team is ready to push on to try and win the league. Because it's nigh on impossible, I think, at this stage to build. Like, I don't think it's possible to do what we did and do what City did initially, where you just go and build a super team, basically. I think that's almost it's next to impossible in this day and age.
Yeah, and that's what I was actually going to say.
Doing buying younger players. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they've already got the difference. Difference is they've already got established players there. That's what City will do, though. They'll buy the younger players, but they've already got established there. We just didn't do that. Or our established players aren't that good.
Yeah, and that's what I was actually going to allude to. And, Andrew, I was going to go to you for the next part of this topic, because, I feel like this is probably the easiest way most teams can go, because we talked about it earlier. The average player, let's say like your Sucheks of any team, or your Ruben Neves, not stand out, but like performing players, McGinn, so on. Nowadays, you're going to have to pay anywhere from 60 to 70 mil just for those players. Whereas with these younger players is where you're getting your 20, 30, 40 mil transfers. I was going to ask you, Andrew, do you think going forward, I guess I understand the model now, what they're trying to do. Yes, we're trying to build a young team so it's sustainable. These teams, there's the long contracts. They're going to be here at least 5 years playing together. There's no constant chopping and changing. That's good. But we know that they've been buying a lot of young players every window now. At what point would you be like, okay, you don't need to buy this many players anymore. You can stop. You can dumb it down. What do you think should be the right course of action that you would be content with?
Well, I'm sort of done now.
It's fair, yeah.
The difference is that we've discussed this. Players, I think, under a certain age don't go against your club's FFP or whatever, PSR, whatever it is. So you will be seeing more and more deals, not just from Chelsea, but we're seeing it with City at the moment as well, signing up young players. So you will see more deals like this. I've said it before. To me, it's not about the age; it's about the quality and established quality. Not just a potential quality, established quality. No one's going to make any No, it's not going to happen. But say something popped up this summer where we signed, and just go with me. We signed Elise, Musiala, and that. No one's going to go, oh shit, they're too young, because they've seen these guys play, right? It's like that. No one's going to do that. So it's about, I don't care what the age is. If they're already established and the quality, then that's what we should be going for. It shouldn't be, I don't know, is he worth that? Is he not worth that? Like you can understand the Palmer thing of last summer going, yeah, he's good, but how good is he? 45 minutes quite a lot for a guy who's like, hardly played in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's something like that. Whereas we go and pay like 60 million for Elise, you go, well, I've seen him play, so I know he can do things and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think the days of like buying 5 to 6 established players going into your squad that you know of and for high prices are probably gone. I think people will still lay out huge transfer fees for actual world stars.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if Mbappe was on the market right now, every big club would be bidding for him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're going to get...
Yeah.
So,
but that would likely be your only chance for that summer.
Yeah. So mine would be like, okay, so I think out of this squad, there is defo core there to build around. Yeah. Including the injured and stuff like that. So now it's just about fine-tuning it. Now it's about getting a striker to spearhead. Now it's about, I don't think they will for some reason, I don't know why, but it's getting a goalkeeper at the end like that, you know, and a little few tweaks here and there, getting a left back, getting another centre back, and getting an Elise in or something like that. And then it's not a lot. Do you know what I mean? It's because you're getting like a possible backup left back, a centre back where you don't know if they're going to start or not. Definitely number one goalkeeper for me, Elise and Osman, right?
Yeah,
stuff like that. So you're only really getting possibly 2 to 3 ones that people would go, oh yeah, they're going to go into the team right away. Do you know? And then you just do these other little deals along the way. That's what I mean. No one's going to care about this Estevao Willian deal if we just sign Osman, Elise, and Diogo Costa.
Yeah.
No one's going to care about this Willian deal whatsoever in the summer. They'll probably even forget we signed him until someone mentions in 2025, oh yeah, this guy's coming. Oh yeah. We signed him. Do you know what I mean?
Kenny is probably going to be that one. Yeah, exactly.
And with that, so that's what it's going to be right now. And you see reports this week, Man United and Liverpool are looking at the same model we're trying to do. So what are their fans going to say now?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think the problem is that I had is I think they went too far over a cliff. And it should have been a staggering build-up. You know, they just literally went get up and like that, and let's see if it can go together.
Just put a whole new Nintendo cartridge in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's like still trying to hook up an N64. like a modern day TV or something like that, where you don't realize you don't have to freaking get a huge adapter or something like that. It's gonna look like a transformer at the end of it, you know, something like just going on. Instead of just downloading like a simulator for it, which will take you less time or something like that. So it's one of those. Like I said, the players that come in have to be quality now, not potential. They have to be the ones that you want in have to be quality. The other deals like the Estevao Willian Piers deal, their potential. The other ones have to be ready to go quality right now, which no one questions.
I agree, especially now more than ever.
Don't bring me just Sesko up front. You want to bring Sesko in the finance?
No.
Let's put Osman in ahead of him.
Don't bring me Sesko full stop. I'll be so
Yeah, I think a really good point that you brought up was also like the approach. I don't mind the model that we have right now, especially if it's looking like it's developing in the right direction. If you know, now the results are finally showing. If we keep going this way, then it looks like the investment was made right. I think what the error we made was exactly like you said, scrapping the whole team and putting in a brand new one, where it should have been more of like. I think that's the issue, because I think leaving some senior heads would have been good. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't have the.
Why do you say it's not on him?
Because we've had this conversation before. Of those that were here from last season, I would have kept 3, and 2 of them, because of the way Poch trains, wouldn't have played at all this season. So that's 1 guy staying from last season.
You got
The reason why I don't blame this ownership group for what happened in the summer in terms of the clear out. That's on the old ownership group. Because realistically speaking, we should still have in this team one of Christensen or Rudiger or both. We could have kept Jorginho. That one I'm a little bit annoyed about.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about, Scott.
We should have got rid of Ziyech earlier. We should we could have easily got rid of other guys earlier. We should have got rid of Aspi way earlier than we did. So the only people we really realistically should have kept was J5, Kante, if he'd have stayed on a contract that made sense, and Loftus-Cheek. And those last 2 would have been injured the whole season.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's the
My
problem.
arguments were going to be Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek. That's it.
The issue
as senior figures.
Yeah, the issue was not the clear out. The issue was some of the guys we brought in from age profile. Not talent profile, but from an age profile. That was the issue.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, you're absolutely right when you say that. And I agree, actually, now that you put it that way. There would have been a few players that would have kept. So, yeah, it would have, I guess, in another approach probably would have been to bring in 1 or 2 more experienced players, ones that actually would have fit this model.
No, just would have been quality. That's what it is.
Or at least quality. Yeah, quality, have some game experience in there. Because, again, it doesn't necessarily have to be how long you've played. It's how much you've played and what the quality and the level you've played at. But, you know, Oliver, I do want to ask you this final question on the topic before we close it out, because it is getting late and this is going to be a record-long stream, and I'm so sorry. So right here, this final quote here is that you had that resolve to not hear all those noise around you and remain committed to the plan. And since Boxing Day, we are the 4th best team in the Premier League. I guess what I want to ask you is, this to me says that they are definitely sticking to their guns when it comes to doing more of a stat-driven way of running the club. How do you feel about that approach? And, you know, looking at where we are now, do you think that it was the right approach?
I mean, in terms of the quote, I kind of take it with a pinch of salt. I mean, you're on one of these like business conferences and whatnot. You're not going to dig out your manager for having a poor start to the season.
Imagine.
You're just not going to do it. I mean, as much as it's true.
He ends the he ends the interview with Poch out.
Yeah. But you know, as much as it is the truth that we should have done better, you know, pre-Boxing Day, he's not going to say that. It's just going to look very bad. It's going to pile on even more pressure onto Poch. Whether he deserves that pressure or not is another discussion. But you know, it just doesn't help the team. It creates more noise. But listen, like when it comes to stats, you have to use stats. Like that's you have stats in the eye test for a reason. You know, they both combine to give you the truth. You got to use stats, but you don't rely on them solely. And if you don't rely on them solely, and you look at the season, you get the full picture. We were crap before Boxing Day, and we've been decent after it. And the rest of the league's been pretty mediocre at best. So you just kind of got to take all that context into consideration. And I hope they do that. There's some articles
it seems like
they will.
Yeah. And that gives me some solace too, because I was worried that, you know, they weren't going to be thorough about how they were going to analyze Poch, but it seems like they are going to do their due diligence. They are going to take everything into consideration, and it needs to be a detailed consideration, because if they decide to sack Poch, outside of Hansi Flick, there's not very many managers that have been rumored to be lingering around that I really am in favor of bringing in. So it's like, it's definitely one of those, like, we definitely have to consider all our options. We definitely have to consider all the factors and see what the best plan of execution is going forward with this team. I think as long as we do that, I think the ownership and the recruitment will make a good decision. it looks like they have been redeemed at the very final stages of the season. Obviously, I say redeemed because they managed to, based on last season, it has improved. Based on last season, we are now in Europe again. And there's context. Obviously, it's Europa, not Champions League. I'd rather be in Champions League, but And yes, we did improve, but only because the rest of the league had been shit, and we took advantage of that at the final 5 games of the season. And so, there are factors to take into consideration. But again, if we continue on like this next season, I think we're going to be heading into a good direction where, okay, finally, we're seeing the project go into fruition. A lot of people that were talking shit, a lot of people that were saying all this and that about the ownership, now they're in the mud. But this is a patience game. We all knew it wasn't going to work out from the beginning. We just never expected it to be this bad. So we expected maybe that at least the lowest point was going to be 8th, not 12th. So,
and for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah. So, listen, I think we're heading in the right direction. Like I said, the scheduling may have not been ideal, but we are there. We made it. The bus did delay, but we got to Europe. But yeah, I mean, that being said, any final thoughts, panel?
Fuck Poch.
Hey, listen, I'm still Poch out until he proves me next season. But until now, I'm Poch next season.
I guess the only
No, fuck Poch, no.
I guess the only other thing I really have to say about this whole thing with the Boehly quotes is that the whole thing where he was like, our first priority is winning, the second priority is have a great young team. That kind of just vindicates what I said earlier about the fact that whatever you think of these sporting directors, the model for young players comes from above. So you have to look for change up there before you look for change at the person.
I don't think it comes from above. I think that's just they don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I think they were convinced
it could be
to go there because the model changed from summer 23 to January 23. It wasn't a buy young players in summer 23. Sorry, 22. I think that's come from like maybe Vivell before he left and stuff like that because they wanted, I think they were just seduced by that. And I just think that they don't want to they're not going to throw anyone under the bus. Partly because then people will just go, hey, just to point at them even more.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Don't like that, yeah.
Young GFC, man, we love it, man. Young GFC.
What are you doing back here, man? I thought you'd left.
I want to eat because, like, these guys
Yeah, I
get my
was just
food
about to
came.
say.
You're
a meal.
When to eat?
Wait, didn't your food come like in the beginning of the fight?
Yeah, but I had a cold sandwich. I bought like some Subway. I only bought like a quick sub and crisps and a drink.
So you bought more?
Plan ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I didn't know that it was gonna be this long, bro.
Hey, yo.
I was gonna be done by 2 hours and a half.
Andrew was trying to joke for the 4 hours, but we almost hit it.
No.
Yeah, we are almost there.
Hang on. He usually starts around 10 after 10 UK time always.
Yeah,
You know that some podcast like this can go for 3 hours.
I know what Andrew's doing
on what
right
you
now.
just said.
I know what Andrew's doing right now. He's really trying to push us to 4 hours.
I want a detailed explanation right here, right now.
No.
About why you've done this. That's all. And take your time, please.
Listen.
I was really just, I just think for me, or just run out of time. I ran out of time, innit? I just ran out of time.
Yeah, ran out of time.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. But anyways, ladies and gents, there's
Angers and mash,
140 of you guys watching. Smash those likes. It helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. We're going to be going over to watch some GTA 5. And if that doesn't give away where we're going, we're going to go raid Saeed. Yeah, he's on. So we're going to raid Saeed.
GTA 5 in 2024, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
You all put in the chat. You all put in the
People
chat.
still do the roleplay.
GTA 4 clear, man.
Yeah, dude,
4 clear.
knock in. That'd be hilarious. But also, you could do the raid messenger that.
Casually raid 10 hug in. That's what it is.
Yeah, Casually Ray Taylor. Perfect. But ladies and gents, as always, thank you so much for watching. This has been I think maybe the longest Casually Chelsea show we've done. And you know what? It's fine because we won't be doing another Casually Chelsea show until
We're doing one tomorrow, mate.
Wow.
We're doing the Casually. No, we're doing reaction.
Yeah.
We're not doing a news show
Yeah.
like today.
Okay.
We're not doing a news show
Yeah.
for another 2 weeks or so because we have some big plans coming up for the channel, and I think you guys are going to be really interested. Some really, really good original
Girl
content
Chris
coming up.
OnlyFans account.
Girl, that's my days.
Bro sheep.
So, Jesus,
How much am I
stop
getting
it.
paid?
So, what do you wait? Huh? And stop
Yeah,
it!
they are.
Stop it!
Lean and mean. You know what I mean? You know his slogan is lean and mean. You know.
Before we leave, smash the likes, like I said. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. That way you are on top of it whenever we do have live streams going. Hit the bell notification, you're notified whenever we do go live. Check the links in the description for everyone's content. I'm surprised, no Prime today, but you know he's probably busy. So check out all the links in the description. Leave a comment if you're watching this in the future. I hope we made work or whatever you're doing and putting this in the background easier for you today. And as always, check out the memberships, guys. 4 memberships starting off at 99p. And at the end of every show, we give out shout outs to the proper casuals and higher tiered members. And that's going to go over to B-Man, JC, Ishi, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Uncle Gestures FC, Will, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Adrian, Pelu, Coco 624, The Danzo, Gabriel A, Adib, AK Satit, and Joel. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for the support of all of our other members as well. If you are a member, show off those emojis so you can show people what they're missing out on with the membership. So that being said, like I said, we are going to be rating Saeed TV. Be sure to copy and paste the rated message. Let them know where you're coming from. We'll be back tomorrow for the match reaction to our final match against Bournemouth. Hopefully it's a win. Hopefully we're talking about being one step closer to Europa League. And we'll be saying our goodbyes. We'll be saying our goodbyes as well to Thiago Silva. But ladies and gents, that being said, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Stay casual.
Too grouse.
Stay casual and peace.
Hold that, Marshall. You're man, this shit.